But all right, yo, what is up, everyone? Welcome to Inseinen Studios weekly podcast. This week we are going over Biomega Volume 3. We got some new guests on the show. Shiokaze and Jade. Say what's up.
Hi.
Hello.
What's up?
And then, a blast from the past in France, Adver, beautiful man.
Yeah, I'm back.
And Millennium, our go-to thesaurus. Not thesaurus, but our go-to theologian, however you want to say it.
All right. Let's begin.
All right, cool. Okay, so guys, volume 2 ended off where you had Narain and his doctors, and they had captured, Eon Green, and they're like, oh shit, this is VF Chiana. She was around hundreds of years ago at a place that was under Leaf's control. She's an immortal. So Leaf, the bear's dad, Leaf Grebnev, father of, what's the bear's name? Kozlov Grebnev.
Kozlov.
Knew about immortality hundreds of years ago. And this is coming to Narain, who is like a top dog in the DRF right now, his attention. So that's important to know. God, this fucking story. I'm going to try to keep everyone on track, but, we got to enjoy it too. Anyway, so, it starts off with this flashback scene. And as I think Millennium, you brought it up last time, every time it's a flashback or in the past, the panels are darker, like the outline's black. Did you say that?
Yeah, the background borders are black. Yeah.
Okay. And this is, so we're kind of seeing the first part of Narain's life at the earliest that, we have witness to. There's these people that are like, we're from Microvolt. We're here for Narain Megunato. How are you going to get him out? So, obviously.
By the way.
Yeah.
I'm just going to stop you there. So basically, Megunado is not actually pronounced Megunado. It should be pronounced like Megnat. Like, Japanese people like sometimes don't pronounce like the U's and the N's, like des from desu. So it's basically Megnat. Or you can call it Megnado, And
yo, what's up, Kevin? Megnog? How do you want me to say it?
So basically, let me explain.
I'm just going to call him Narain anyway.
Okay, yeah. But basically, Narain is from Narayan, and Narayan is a deity or god from the Indian mythology, which is like he's like the essence of every being, And also it also means like cloud. Like Nara means water, Narain means a water-filled cloud, and Meghnad, it basically it means cloud, and Nad means the roar. So basically, it's the thunder. It's also the name of a god who basically kills 670 million.
Yo, did you write notes? Are you right?
Yes,
did you write notes for this today?
Yes, I did, actually.
Oh, man. That's beautiful.
So basically, this guy killed 670 million humanoid apes. Basically, it's a race that lives in the forest. And he's like a great warrior. And so we actually know, like, from this chapter's beginning, we actually kind of get like his backstory in a way. Like, this guy can kill people. He has the essence, like access to the essence of life, probably. And he might be a bad guy. But maybe later on we'll see like that might not be true, So yeah.
Cool. Hell yeah, dude. It takes place in this like old rundown factory working city, it looks like. So yeah, we know there's something bad about Narain because, Oh, and we can, guys, we can think these guys are from they're from Microvolt, but they have the aprons, so they're like the patrol inspectors of that time. It's another way to look at it.
But the guy that is like the guy who's being like asked about Narain, he's shitting.
Oh my god,
he's pooping in the toilet.
His pants are down. I never noticed that.
And the nurse is holding the toilet napkins like. Oh
dude,
my god.
I never noticed that. I cannot believe it. I figured he was just sitting down reading the paper.
The good or the Nihei touch of humor,
Dude, Nihei shit humor. Beautiful. Anyway, they're like, we ain't gonna help. They're gonna try to get Narain. So then we have this little mysterious girl they brought along. and they open up the door to where Narain's at, and he's just like, I don't know. It reminds me of one of those the scene from Marvel, one of the Marvel movies where like the twins, they're like test subjects and they're just like jittering, vibrating. I don't know if you guys have
Oh,
seen
you
that.
mean? Oh, yeah. The
That
mutants
came after
basically.
this,
Yeah.
manga, but it reminds me that Narain's like vibrating violently.
Yeah.
It's freaking out.
Also, like,
This
have you
girl-
seen the film? Sorry, have you seen the film Jacob's Ladder?
No, dude.
Yeah,
A lot
there's
of people.
definitely parallels to make to it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, in
monsters
Jacob's-
in it act a bit like that.
So in Jacob's Ladder, there's actually not a monster to be honest. It's like a patient with a PTSD or something, but it's portrayed like a monster. Yeah, but that character just moves his head like that. Like it's really freaky if you watch it. It's live action as well, so yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Isn't that a book too? Kevin's Ladder.
There are books. No, Jacob's Ladder. I mean,
Oh,
I
Jacob's
don't know
Ladder.
about the book. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, this girl seems like she was brought to try to calm this man down, Narain, and she takes her glove off, but her other arm gets just shredded. Narain twists it into smithereens. Another thing to notice, guys, his powers always involve like twisting, like a cyclone, like energy thing. She reaches out and touches him, and then we see these little white worm-like things come out of his body that we learn later in the manga. Is they refer to it as like spirit matter, and it's kind of something that's specific to Niardi. So, which we see her name the next panel over. That's this little girl's name, Niardi. Guys, if you want to touch on why her hands are like webbed and there's like a robotic thing attached, there's not really a lot of details on that. I don't know if it's we will learn that this girl Niardi is very special. It could just be a byproduct of her biology with her like other powers that her hands are webbed and shit. I don't know.
Yeah. Also, like her name is actually pronounced Niardi, like not Niarudi. Like U is not pronounced. Every time you see a U in the middle of a name, just ignore it. You know?
Niardi. I'm just reading it
Niardi.
how like you would read English, man. Like give me a break.
Yeah. But
Although I do know
Japanese
they changed.
pronunciation.
Yeah, I do know they changed the names because when I originally read this, it was scans online, and all the names are slightly different.
Yeah, the version that I got is ridiculously pronounce the name as reloaded.
Oh yeah, reload.
Like
Yeah.
reloaded the gun, something like
Yeah.
Which
that.
I
Is
actually
it?
like that name better, but here it's
Yeah, same.
it's not reload. It's what is it again?
Niardi.
No,
Niardi or Niardi. Like the
Yeah.
he's
U is
talking
not
about the
pronounced.
girl. He's talking about the girl on Mars, man.
Yeah.
Reload.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Reloading.
Yeah, I'm sure
Rirudo.
the
They call it
Japanese
Rirudo
will
in
have
here.
a hard time
Yeah,
like pronouncing or writing it down in their language.
Yeah, Nihei probably just who knows. Well, what do you got, Millennium? Got anything on Niardi?
Not
Niardi's
really,
name?
nothing. It's a made
Alright,
up
cool.
name. But I'm just correcting you, not because like I'm a snob about it, but people might like complain like watching this and think, hey, that's not the correct pronunciation, So
Yeah.
don't mind me.
Alright.
Just carry on.
Anyway, she calms him down. The spirit matter comes out of like his eye, and I kind of feel like it's a way to somehow she communicated with him, understood him, and got him to calm down. She says, "I'm all right. It's over."
Also, like it's so invasive, right? Like going through your body, little worm-like thingy. It just
Yeah.
kind of freaks me out.
Please don't.
Yeah.
I feel like it's
That is disbelievable.
I feel like it's like a more it's akin to the infestation which controls drones, but it's like people who are not psychic just get controlled and evolve it to drones, but those who can somehow control it become psychics. I don't know.
We don't
We'll
know.
get to
We
it.
can. We guys, yeah, we'll get to it. We can speculate on these guys' interesting powers, but bottom line is they're just different. You're not going to get too many backstories or details on how like Niardi and Narain got their powers. They might have just been born with it.
I just want to add that the palmed ends are there is actually a bit of DNA left in our bodies, which can. So some people with genetic defects are born with ends like this, because it evolved to not have those and not the opposite. So some
So
people,
do you mean
sometimes
are you
have,
talking about webbed fingers? Like
yeah,
people with
the webbed fingers.
Okay, so basically webbed
a
fingers are
mutation.
common in it's kind of a mutation, and also it's basically like a defect, chromosomal like defect.
Dude,
So
these guys
let's
do
not go
have,
into it.
they have like mutant. It does remind me of like X-Men and shit. Like they're mutants.
Yeah,
That just
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just happened over time and stuff. Yo, what's up, Martin? What's up, bitch? Anyway, so we go back to the present, and like I said before, this weird tentacle monster thing, that's Narain. That's the little boy who was just losing his shit. That was calmed down by Niardi. And he's like in this tub or something. We don't know. It probably has something to do with his maintaining his like body. We'll learn
Yeah.
he went on under like tons of experiments later. Anyway,
Also,
so
it's like he was remembering this while he's in the tub. It's like going back to the present now. So
like he was thinking about it. Yeah. Anyway, we were in the lab. This is probably taking place at MSCF3, aka the Intercontinental Base
satellite. Yeah.
Yeah. And the doctors walk through, but then one of who we learn Niardi's men sent from DRF headquarters, he's like sneaking around. And he goes and finds just like this weird experiment. There's like this 2-page spread thing. I don't really know what's going on there, but he knows like something fishy is being performed.
It's like, so for me, how I interpreted it is that this huge thingy, it's like a hive for the artificial human they're creating for themselves, and this guy, they're not allowed to do that. So this guy is like a ninja slash like a detective. He's just going through.
Oh yeah, because the next panel he finds the synthetic humans that they've been creating, similar to like what Toha was doing. He comments that central blank body is big, must be for housing General Narain's giant brain. So he's like, yo, that big synthetic mother's probably what Narain's gonna put his brain into. And then this doctor, weird, crazy looking doctor, comes out. Dude, I love all the gothic and just like he's like, you saw it?
Kind of thing.
Yeah, did Niardi send you? Dr.
Wildenstein.
Wildenstein. Yeah, this guy's Dr. Wildenstein. Research and experimentation on living subjects outside of headquarters is strictly prohibited. You'll have a lot to explain, especially that large device. That was probably what he saw earlier. And then, guys, really interesting. Someone wheelchairs in, and it's the agent says Mamura Kurokawa.
Yeah.
Which is most likely Dr. Kurokawa, unless Dr. Kurokawa has a brother we didn't know about, which I thought is like one possibility. This is the Dr. Kurokawa from Toa Heavy Industries that the DRF, snagged last volume. And it looks like he's had surgery done on his head. They might have brainwashed him. They might have purged him of his information to help with their synthetic human research. Who knows?
Sorry, go on.
That's the doctor from Toa?
Yeah.
Most likely, yeah.
Well,
Kurokawa, they have the same name. If you look back in volume 2, it was Dr. Kurokawa that they snagged from Toa. Remember?
Oh,
they wanted his like research and shit, and then
also they probably went through some kind of like bioengineer on him, because like Wildenstein is like Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein, and look at the guy Kurokawa. He looks like Frankenstein's monster now, kind of like the stitched up like faces. So yeah.
Yo, what's up, San Kansibo? It's Shiokaze. He's our artist of the day. Anyway, before he gets answers, Narain like just comes out of the depths and twists the agent's arm and like into oblivion. kind of like how we saw him do to Niardi years ago in that flashback scene. And then, guys, we're doing a lot of jumping in time here. The next scene is like we're back outside on the, the surface of MFCF3, and the agent's just down. One of his boys is like, "Get up!" He's out of it. His arm is ripped off because Rain did it. And this is cool. We Hagid, Millennium. How's this guy's name pronounced? Hagid, the guy who killed Go.
Higuide.
Okay, Higuide.
Yeah.
Higuide's there. His arm's not there. It looks like he never had a physical arm there, or it got ripped off in surgery, whatever. Like, he can add stuff to it. Anyway, the agent's like, "What is this? What's happening?" And then we see this brutal picture of the other two agents he came with from DRF headquarters. These guys. Just hanging. Bloody, dripping down. They're dead for the better part. Narain's like, they tried to interfere with a fair and honorable duel, an unforgivable interruption. Yeah, what's up?
Well, sorry. So one thing to notice is that look at the arms that they have lost. The guy, Higuide, he loses his right arm, and also the both loses their right arm, basically. And
to make it an even duel, Narain did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we can get inside Narain's mind a little bit. He's a man of honor. Maybe his screw's a little loose because we'll see him more like rational in other flashback scenes. And the agent's like, "Narain, you bastard." So guys, this is important. This is when you need to recognize there's a split in factions in the DRF. Okay. We now have the DRF headquarters side and we have Narain's side. So Narain is basically saying, "Fuck you to the rest of the DRF. I'm taking the men I have with me already, and we're going forward with what our mission is for humanity in all this chaos."
So basically DRF versus CEU, or like PHS.
That's a good way to put it. We'll say CEU because technically Narain was the general of the CEU, which is like a subsidiary of the DRF, and that's the one that had a bunch of the army that they used to fight around the world. So he's got some firepower. And then here we go. It's just duel time. Like manly cybernetics and like mutated human, just duel time.
Really like a ninja battle, like in an arena. It's like you can't see them. They're so quick and they have these weapons they can project us, they can throw. And it's like really cool.
Yeah.
And
I like it. I like it too because it's kind of like a old school samurai battle where it does not last long. There's going to be a few strikes to determine the winner.
If you read like Vagabond, the duel never lasts like for more than few seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's really quick.
Sonic on Sibo gonna open up and follow along. Yeah, we're in the first chapter of volume 3. It's chapter 18. Yeah, chapter 18. It's probably about to be the end of chapter 18 though. And so he busts. It's a pretty quick fight. Honestly, I thought Hagid was going to go down the first time, but then you see him pull back his like weapon that he attached to a chain on his hand and slice off the agent's head in just beautiful fashion. And you get it's a pretty sick 2-page spread of just the end of the duel. His head's falling off.
Right.
He's just so cool.
Very cool.
One thing to notice is that you see one details that I caught is that in the fight, Higuide loses his left arm, and then the left arm comes back to his hand, and as it is coming back, with the projectile, the sword kind of the blade, and that blade also comes back, and that means the guy's head is chopped off later, as like he pierces through the heart of Higuide, not heart, like the chest of.
He like
Higuide.
cuts into his body, yeah.
Yeah, you'll see like the reaction of the people. Oh, what's happening? And the very next panel, like it's a spread, two pages, and you'll see like that guy's head is chopped off, and we don't know how that happened, but if you could really pay attention, it's basically.
No, you do know because he brought his weapon back. His blade is attached to like lines, like a wire string, like he shot it around him, and then he got stabbed, and then he pulled back. The blade came back, took off the agent's head.
Yeah, he does though, but you don't notice. Like I didn't notice basically that his left hand was detached and then it came back, because like in one of the panels you'll see that he doesn't have his left hand, and then he has it again. So it's basically he can detach and attach his arms. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. I never see his left hand leave personally. I don't know where.
And because like if you look at first time when they're standing, like they're having the stand up before each other, you will see the right hand of Higuide, and you will see it's basically detachable. It's not like it's cut in half.
His arm's not there.
Yeah, his arm is not there, but look at the cut. It's not like a what you call it, cross section. It's just like an attachment point.
Mechanical hard point
Right.
of some sort.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever
so-
has anything on that arm during this battle, though. I think it's just.
Yeah, he doesn't. He doesn't. But like
So you're
using
saying-
the fact.
Okay,
Yeah,
I thought
he's-
his left hand detached during the fight, and I just don't see that.
Okay, never mind. Then yeah, just a personal interpretation that his left hand, you can see like there's a severed body limb flying, as well as with the projectile that he's throwing. It's going to one direction and then it's coming back again and coming back through the head of the guy, the detective guy. So yeah, never mind. It's just paneling. You can read it either way. So never mind. Let's not. Yeah.
I can dig it though. I mean, yeah, it is up to your interpretation. I'm not gonna. It's cool. I can
All
dig it.
right.
And then we go back to D. So guys, we're at DRF headquarters now. That's what this place is, and we'll learn. Oh, this is cool. Okay, guys, this is when we see her. Okay, so DRF headquarters is pretty cool. It's like this giant castle in the just some open lands. I mean, just beautiful, sick artwork and setting. And they have a picture. It looks like so either I doubt they have this head with them physically. I feel like they're like monitoring this remotely somehow, because we see a picture of the agent's head. Or guys, what also I think might happen, Narain, the reveal is coming up, Sankan. The Narain might have sent them the head as like a declaration of like, we are splitting off, basically. Like,
that's fucking brutal.
You know what I mean? And then the other agents around them like Duel, Narain, Cleanse, Repay, Matriarch, Pulverize, Revenge, Punish. I don't.
It's basically like if you go with some old samurai movies like Jidaigeki, it's basically that, sending the head of your like what you call it, basically your messenger and your soldier, and it's a message as like we're doing war now.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I can dig that. And then, guys, the end of chapter 18, we see this beautiful panel. That's Niardi, the girl we saw in the flashback earlier, who calmed down Narain. She is the matriarch, so she is the head of the DRF right now.
Indeed.
Jade, what's up? You haven't talked any.
Oh.
Got any thoughts?
Yeah. About the let me go back to the detachable arm thing a little bit. Maybe is I don't think it's a discontinuity or is some sort of the mechanical sleight of hand or something, but perhaps it's maybe killing the mood for your guy a little bit, but perhaps the different publisher have a different idea of flipping the page, so it will be read from left to right or right to left for the Western audience, or that kind of thing.
Well, no, here we have it regularly, like regular Japanese style. Yeah,
because what I think is like I said because like I don't think it's detachable arm anymore. Sorry, I think I went off the wrong rail. So basically, he's throwing in that panel where you see the arrow going, like blade going to the left. It's going forward. It's in a forward motion, and it's cutting through the leg of the guy, of the dude that is standing. It's cutting off his leg. And later
yeah,
when
you're right, because
back,
his leg is fucked up right here. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Because, I did see what you were saying here. Like, what is this limb?
Mm-hmm.
but it's
I love
the
this.
agent's leg, because on the next panel, yeah, it's chopped off at the bottom right there. Oh,
Ah,
okay.
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah. I see a little bit of hint of blood spattering from the wound.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So chapter 19, pretty cool cover panel. I don't know if we can get too much information out of this one. And okay,
I think it's like the body that's being made, the clone body with the big limbs inside the chamber. I think
oh,
like a
getting
human
ready for
body.
Narain, the synthetic
Yeah.
human they're making for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're back to Grebnev, the bear and crew, who's with Kizuno, right? Mizunoe.
Issue.
Mizunoe and yeah.
What's her first name?
Mizunoe forgot. I think yeah, it was like something with 9. I forgotten. Never mind.
I love her so much. Can't believe we forget. We'll see. It's me, the team Mizuno. They're like
Oh,
Nishu?
Nishu
Nishu.
Mizunoe and
Yeah.
Shin. Yeah.
Nishi.
Nishu and what's her AI or the
Shin.
I can't remember.
Shin? Yeah, the other
Yeah.
her partner Shin. Okay, so they were having a conversation. Shin's like least representative. Nishu's like, what was he doing? He wasn't connected to the DRF? Question mark. So they're like seeing what's up with this, and so they're questioning Kozlov. Kozlov's like, he took care of me when I was little. He was a doctor. He was living in the Ajita zone. Do you know where exactly? Yes, I wrote it down here, but I haven't seen him in years. So they're trying to get to the bottom of like, where is Leaf? Okay, we have Kozlov to go off of him, who's his son, I guess. And then they're like pinging Kozlov for any memories he has, like, and he's talking about this dude that brought him up. So they're looking for him. And Shin's like, I've located the room. No one has lived there for over 300 years, Kozlov. Even supposing the individual you speak of did live there secretly, there's no way he could have survived the drone epidemic, which makes pretty good sense. And Fuyu's like, and even if he did, wouldn't the DRF have already found him? Because the DRF's been looking for accommodators. So they're like, likelihood of this dude being there is slim.
Yeah.
Issue's like, true, but right now this is the only lead we have on Leaf. Let's go, get on. So, I mean, they got to take, follow the leads they have. They're not in a very opportune situation.
Yeah.
So anyone have any thoughts?
Like the guy there, like the page where they're just driving through the flyover bridge or whatever, the road. You'll see on the right side there's also lots of Japanese styled buildings. Like it's rare to see them in Nihei manga, but I think it's really cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
I also noticed there's this one scene in Knights of Sidonia where Tanakazi's like going on a date with Tsumugi, and they're in a section of town where it's only Japanese buildings, which I like. That's like the only time I've seen it in that entire manga. But I thought was cool.
Yeah, there is a similar scene in the Blame Gakuen manga.
Yeah.
They are in a fair.
Carnival.
It's kind of like a firework festival of some sort, where the people wear yukata and going to the festival.
Yeah.
That kind of feeling.
Anyway, so they're gonna go find the doctor. Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, I see a thing about Kozlov versus the bike riding. Like, it's some kind of a humor moment.
It's so
to
funny.
Me that,
yeah. Anytime
Here we go
the bear's
again,
on the bike. Yeah.
He hates it. I can tell.
And he's like, it's okay us not backing up Zoichi, right? They are going to rescue Eon, right? So he's worried about Eon. We'll get Chiokaze back in here. His drawing. Just shut up and hold on. Shin, yeah.
Sorry, just got disconnected
like,
for some reasons.
You're lucky we didn't kill you, Bear. All right, you're still under suspicion.
Some weird shit going on.
But still, it's a cool touch that the bear has a humanity. He's like actually caring for Eon and thinking, hey, should like help Joichi. He's rescuing Eon right now.
Oh, Kozlov, total good guy, good hearted man bear pig.
Yeah,
and he clenches his teeth every time they like take off from the road.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, coming up, this is so funny. Okay, so they get to the address, right? And they go to the top and they see this dude who looks like he's sitting in a place where you like look at a telescope or some kind of like device that monitors things in the distance.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
he's kind of
sniper.
like the engineer from the first
Yeah, I was
Alien film,
gonna
right? The
mention it.
silhouette of him.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
Nihei's
Yeah,
had a lot
that's
of
the
scenes
first
like
thing
that.
it hit my mind when I see this panel.
There's a bunch of
yeah,
those scenes in Blam where it has like that similar Prometheus laying back
Yeah,
type theme.
yeah.
I think back
Yeah.
in Blame, the influence from who is it? Geiger is like more
Yeah.
dense to be seen than Biomega, like a lot more.
Hmm.
And okay, so they come across the guy. He looks like he might be dead. And Kozlov's like, no, no. He gets really close to him. And then there's just this
And then
beautiful page of them like freaking out when they see each other.
Yeah,
this is super.
No, I think it's the guy just screams at him, and Pavlov. I don't know how is it called.
I think
Pavlov.
Yeah.
yeah,
He
I think
just
it's
freaks
like
out. Yeah, he
I think
just
the first time
surprises him.
I think the scream is because like the first time they see him, it's like he's dead. He's long dead in his chair, and he's like, "Oh, it's a dead body," and it's like, "No, no, you're dead," and it's like alive again. It's like, "Oh my god, he came alive." Probably thought it's a drone, but yeah,
I just thought Nihei wanted to be funny. Like it's obvious.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they're sitting down. They're like, all right, let's see what info we can get. He's like, the doctor's like, still alive, eh, Kozlov? That means N5SV can't infect that body. Something interesting to note.
yeah, that
The
bare
bear's claw.
bodies.
Guys, also, this dude never gets a name. I've looked for it. We're just going to call him Doctor.
Mhm.
Really?
Yeah, he never gets a name. I looked a lot in my explanation videos.
Oh yeah.
Nishu is like, and you must be a synthetic human, Doctor. Kozlov's like, huh? Shin's like, probably first generation, nearly 200 years old. So the doctor, I mean, that makes sense. Or he went through surgeries, life extension surgeries, which we'll learn about later. Doctor's like, who are these people? Nishu, I'm Special Agent Nishu Mizuno, Toa Heavy Industries Security Division. He's like, Toa Heavy Industry. Kozlov's like, we're looking for Leaf. If you know anything, Doctor, please tell us. What do you want with Leaf? So he's a little protective. Doctor's protective of Leaf. Seems like of Toa in general. He's speculative, conspicuous. Nishu's like, before he disappeared 186 years ago, he took something from the DRF. They're still looking for him in order to get it back. So what is that? Interesting. If there's any hope of saving the world, we must find him before the DRF does. Kozlov's like, what did he take? Shin says, something as dangerous as N5SV, maybe even more dangerous. All right. So just more questions now, guys. Like, we know who that old guy is, Inseinen. I don't know what that means.
And
Thanks,
talk of the
Sankan.
devil. Like speak of the devil, the DRF is here.
Oh, the DRF
Yeah,
is.
it was-
Oh my God, dude, this
It
scene is
really
so sick. Yeah, so guys, really just more questions for now. Leaf disappeared. Doctor knows about some secrets of what he stole from the DRF. And then an attack starts happening. And they're shooting the lasers. Dude, Nishu just like saves everybody. She just like grabs
Yeah.
everyone
Yeah.
and dives. So guys, there's this fluid associated with the lasers that she notices. She doesn't know what's going on.
Like how I interpret it is like hydro, like high pressurized water. If you shoot it, like it can work as like a water laser thingy. So basically, they're shooting the fluid in high speed. That's how I interpreted it. But yeah,
That's a good way. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder for a long time that kind of thing can be weaponized or not, and some people say that yeah, it could, but it has a limited range and something about the mobility of it. Like you had to have enough water pressure, like all the time.
Yeah, and to
it's
maintain
very
the
crazy
pressure.
that
Yeah.
putting that kind of weapon on a flying platform like this is very very Nihei crazy level.
Yo, Sankan Sibo says Nishu badass hair let down. And yes, I didn't notice it the first time I read through, but she rips off the hair tie right here on her
Yeah.
hair and it
Very
flows
cool.
down after that. She's just like,
Yeah, she's
fuck
a
this.
badass.
Beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Shiokaze, you're like famous, dude. Everyone in the chat's like respecting the
And
drawing,
also,
man.
Hold it.
yeah, that's great. And also, like the hair tie actually saves the bear because he's like, yeah, she doesn't
Yeah.
take it off to be fashionable. He's like she's trying to save the people. So yeah.
Yeah.
And guys, I've noticed anytime the bear and the doctor are involved, it's like a comedic. There's some kind of comedic
Yeah.
element to it. Like they're just like
Indeed.
helpless, like almost dying, saving on for life.
I mean, of course, there's like that kind of character in most mangas or
Oh,
anime.
this is so sick. Next page is just like we see the flying machine, a
Oh,
full
man.
like picture of it, and then also a beautiful
Something out
picture
of Terminator.
Nishu. Yeah, and then Nishu's just like ready for battle. Dude, I love Nishu. Seriously, she's like the
It's a hero.
Sonicon of the
Yeah.
series. Dude, these mechs are sick.
It has abs of steel.
The
Yeah,
mech.
steel.
So yeah.
All right, cool guys. All right, we're at chapter 20. Yo, what's up, Rui? Riwi? However you want to say it. I don't know.
Really?
So in the cover, we already see like Narain McNutt's like the alternate body, like he's gonna have the synthetic body, and look at his head, like thunder is coming out of his head. Basically, his name.
You're getting that because of the electricity or like the things in his head. Yeah.
The brainwaves.
So we start
but
off.
also, but also like his name is McNutt, basically the thunder and cloud. So yeah,
Oh,
it's a
true
visual
that.
pun.
All right. I got to go to the bathroom. I'll let you guys go for it.
Hey.
Just like a sick ass
Okay.
battle coming up.
Okay.
You're gonna miss the battle.
No, I've read this
So-
so many times. You guys are good.
All
Do it
right.
up.
So the hovering aircraft is coming and it's making a sound whoosh and like landing towards them. And yeah, Mizuno just says run. And everyone is just run. Before they can run, they're just like thrown. They're like thrown off their feet.
Yeah.
And so yeah, she's shooting. She's like taking her time. I think it's gonna be a big blast because every time a character takes time to shoot, it's gonna be a big charged shoot. So yeah, it's like one of the blam moment in this manga, whereas the shockwave comes from the like what you call it, the ricochet.
GBA.
Recoil.
Recoil, sorry, that's the term.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just goes into the machine, ka-tunk, and we don't see any explosion. We just see that the machine is just falling and it's just going backwards, breaking stuff. And going through this huge building that has an advertisement, MHZ, www.maz.net. It's basically, you can buy Nihei's merch over there and other mangakas'
What?
marches.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes.
my
I
man.
didn't know.
Go to that website now and you'll find that as well. Like it's still on. So
Cool.
Dot
And then-
MG dot
MHC.
net.
.net. Hold up.
yeah, I'm just gonna say that again for Inseinen. Hi Inseinen. So
Yo, what
we're
up?
going
We get through the battle?
no, not
Okay.
really. So basically the battle is
Okay.
happening. You'll see that Nishu is shooting her GBA like revolver or brainwave revolver. You'll see like
Brainwave.
whatever.
Her-
So
her gun.
but
She's doing her
for
gun, all right.
is-
so her gun and this huge like the mech is falling backwards and you'll
Yeah,
see the
dude, the
building.
power behind that blast is insane. She probably took manner mode off. Like,
Yeah.
Commander mode.
And you'll see in the building it says MHZ, basically www.mhz.net. If you go into that site, you can buy Sutomo Nihei's merch
Yeah, I
and
see
other
it.
mangakas merch. So yeah,
No,
it's basically an apparel.
it redirects me to an auction site. It's
Really, I think you missed an hyphen. So MHZ, if you go
there's
there,
an hyphen. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, just before the H.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dope, yo. So we're at the part where the mech's like on the ground, all the buildings around him are crumbled. Kozlov's like, "Whoa, you destroyed it."
Yeah.
Shin's like, "Not
No,
yet,
no,
Kozlov. Fall back." Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna take care of it. Oh, dude, this thing is then the high pressurized liquid lasers come out again.
And we know that this his her like basically Nishu's gun didn't do anything, no explosion for this didn't break through this mech, because like this mech has we'll later on learn it as like polymer, sorry, whatever it's called, basically
Peace out,
material.
Camellia. Thanks for joining.
So,
Yeah.
and then we see the bear's ear gets cut off.
The beer's air gets
poor
ripped, cut
Kozlov.
off.
The
First
bear's
his
ear.
arm, now his ear.
Poor guy.
And they're like falling off the building, but luckily the bike, Nishu's bike, who Shin's probably controlling, saves them with the little arms it has. And he's like, "My ear, are you all right?"
Good
Oh
ear.
yeah,
And
guys,
it's
it's
like-
cool to know. It's so hot. He touches it with his hook. That his hook now is like burning.
I don't see it as like a hot. I think it's just like the polymer that they're shooting, like to make the I
It's a
forgot the name of the
degrading
thing.
polymer. The reverse morphing
basically.
polymer. Oh, get you.
Yeah, and
yeah.
it's
It's kind of like a
some
reveal. Like yeah.
Yeah. Soon to be revealed, like next so pages.
Yeah, it's very
But his ear's
exciting.
gone.
I think it's turning everything that it touches into organic matter. It's just yeah.
So guys, this is important.
Man-made stuff, right? That's why the hook got some effect on it.
Yeah,
Soncons, no spoiler. It's not that bad. Anyway,
because the
so-
guy,
It's
the
not
So the
that
doctor's gonna
doctor-
spoil it.
Yeah, he looks at the whatever is on Kozlov's hook that he got from his touching his ear that got blown off. He's like, it can't be this liquid. So the doctor recognizes what this liquid is,
Yeah.
and then
And
Knows
look at
like
the
how dangerous
running.
it is.
We'll have
It's
a
just
Matrix level running right now. Action.
dude, yeah,
Next
Nishu
page.
is so
Jeez,
badass. She's
so
just like running
badass.
on walls super fast. The mech's trying to get her. Oh, it smashes through the building and she hangs on to the mech's arm and grapples her way to the top. And this is pretty cool,
And-
guys. Okay, so it looks like she like bites her glove to like rip it off her hand. You see that?
Not really bite off. Like she grabs the chest, like I think armpit kind of level, or the chest plate, and just takes off. Like she doesn't bite it or anything.
Oh, yeah,
it just stays
you're right.
in shape and then you just rip it off like that.
Oh, okay. So she puts it to her chest. It's like adheses. It like sticks itself to there.
Ah.
Her arm comes
It's
out.
magnet,
It's this-
man.
yeah, it's this mechanized arm, and she just like, plants it on the ship. Dude, this is so cool. She's badass. Oh.
Reminds
And,
me a lot of like the Silicon Life stuff from Blame. The hand,
Yeah,
basically.
it's exactly like one of the first attacks that Senacan uses in Blame is a similar one where she has needles in her arm and
Yeah, the
she
difference them out.
uses it in the same way.
Yeah.
Some kind of mechanism cocks her arm back and then gets ready for her to like shoot something through to the other side of the mech. Almost like, I don't know, some kind of cool weapon. Anyway, she like goes off on it, and all of her shots are blasting through the mech. And she just takes it out
I think
single-handedly. What a beast!
you know what I think is like
She's
when
the
she
one
used her
woman
gun, her gun couldn't pierce through the mech. So what she's doing is here, like really close range. She's like piercing through it and then blasting.
I think she
gun.
pierced through the armor with that, and then let off
Yeah.
her weapons. It
I
went through.
think
Yeah,
it's a concussion weapon where she just blasts so much force into a weak point that the
Mhm.
other hand of the weak point just gets obliterated.
Yeah.
Sankan's like, Toa spares no expense on their
Yeah.
agents. For real, we are all Toa heavy tough here. Kazu's like, Nishu. She comes out unscathed. What a badass. But then, guys, we see the drones that were in the city. They start going towards the crash. And we see like there's like a pool of that liquid that the mech was shooting. The doctor
Yeah.
freaks out. He's like, don't let the drones near that liquid. We don't know why, but doctor knows things we don't. And one of them falls into the liquid, and guys, it almost like their mass combine. We'll learn later that, well, yeah. For now, the liquid turned this drone. They almost like combine, have this mass that has a mind of its own, and it just wants to, go wild. It like shoots into a building. It's like deforming it, like changing it on a matter level, like an atomic level right here.
It's
Right
like
here.
for me, I don't think it's like it has a mind. For me, I thought it's like a volatile reaction. Like
That could be it
sometimes,
too. Yeah, guys, a name they'll use for what's happening right now is called catalyst. So these drones, the dronified people, are some kind of catalyst for this liquid, making it have these reactions. All right.
Not really catalyst, because like catalysts never change themselves. For it, like it's like more like they are like reactants to this substance. They're the substance that are needed for the reaction. So
that's what a catalyst is. I could have sworn that they used that term.
Yeah, catalysts themselves never change. That's the thing. But here, if the reaction is completed, like after you say, "Oh, that's gonna be spoiler a little bit," spoiler warning. So,
okay, we'll just get to it then. Yeah, well, it'll explain itself a little bit more as we get on.
Okay.
So yeah, Sankan, we're getting to the thick of it. Crazy shit's going on with this liquid, and these reactions with the buildings around it. It's like transforming the city. The liquid is like touching all the other drones and bringing them into this mass. Anyway, Nishu's like, get on. They're like, we need to get the fuck out of here. We don't know what's happening, but we don't want this stuff to eat us. And there's just another funny scene where they're on the motorcycle, barely escaping the jaws of whatever this mass is that's been formed.
How many people can this motorcycle carry? Like, man, there's gonna be a pile of
bear,
people.
and to carry another man as well. Good lord.
And I bet like for this
spread of the
joke,
city.
Yeah, like I bet like Nihei drew the motorcycle a little bit tinier in this scene just for the joke. And yeah, the city is just basically as one of those 4chan like crazy creepypastas like Dogscape. It's like a biomass-scape.
It looks like a dream. How is it called? The Google artificial intelligence, which sometimes it produces landscapes
like Deep Dream.
Deep Dream.
Yeah.
Well, so they drive away from Ajita Corp, the city. They're like far off away from it. Shin's like, you seem to recognize that liquid, talking to the doctor. And he says, that's what you're looking for. End of chapter 20. So, guys, I interpret this as he's saying, that's what you're looking for. That's what the doctor stole from the DRF when he disappeared all those years ago. I don't know. What about you guys? It's a secret.
What was supposedly sealed, and it knows that even the doctor knows that it's not sealed anymore. That he probably will open his mouth. And it's probably why.
Oh yeah, he's probably wondering what's happening because in his mind, we'll see when he discusses it later. Anyway, chapter 21 cover. We got Kataru, Spindaru.
Last time I couldn't say anything about Kadaru's name, but I found it. Basically, Kadaru is from Qadar, and Qadar is like an Arabic word that means predestination or what's going to happen in the future. So basically, in this chapter, we're going to see what's going to happen in the future. And that's why I think she's in the cover for this chapter.
I see.
Oh, cool. I can see that. Anyway, we enter a scene where it's kind of like a dream, and it shows Zoichi looking upon this long snake-like mass out in space that he's
Oh,
standing on. It stretches out forever into space, and there's a dude sitting next to him that's looks dronified. He says, "Everyone turned into drones. There are no more people." He looks over to Zoichi. "You surprised me. Are you a synthetic human?" Zoichi's just like, "I don't know what the hell is happening." And the dude starts freaking out, and his face almost transforms into Zoichi's face, and he just yells at him with his name, and then he wakes up. Nightmare
Yeah.
time. I don't know. There is a little bit of foreshadowing in here for those of you who
Yeah.
haven't read the manga, which I guess we won't talk about, but a little bit of
Not
foreshadowing
Also,
in this dream going on.
Also, another thing, how I interpret it is that the last time when Joichi lost his consciousness, before that, like when he had a fight with Kadaru, you saw that Kadaru. Why did Kadaru come here? Like come there and talk to Joichi? Basically, for my interpretation is that like if they betray the CEU, if they betray Narain, then Narain really punishes them. So Kadaru wanted to really let Joichi know that hey, this is gonna happen, but the way to do it was to attack him. And later on, he had this premonition or like a dream where he saw what's going to happen, basically.
does she have that kind of power? Because I think that the only thing that she can do is like transform into some kind of donut kind of thing.
Oh, she has like she has a spindle like thingy around her,
Well, we know
and
she
she
has
has
psychic like force field powers. I don't
yes.
know.
Since it's psychic, probably she also has
Oh,
this kind of
I see.
you know because last time when she basically transformed, before that we saw like it's like a possession happening, like all the
Yeah,
lights turn off, and then she's like telling Joichi about something. Joichi's like, "What are you talking about?" And then goes towards her and then lost, and she just goes away. And later on, we see that she's turning into like she's going somewhere. And the next encounter with Kadaru was Kadaru really fought him, and he escaped with the bike in his shoulder.
Dude,
So
I love
yeah.
how
yeah,
I love how pumped Sankan is, man. I'm pumped too. Uh, so anyway, it was a dream. That's very interesting, Millennium. Especially when you put together how she affected the lights in the scene from the previous volume. Maybe how
Also,
she
like
somehow infected this dream. I don't know if that's for
also
sure, but it's interesting.
like later on, you see like when they meet again, what the decision she's gonna make. So yeah, let's carry on.
Okay, so we're back to Zoichi and Fuyu. And she says, "Your body should have discharged the poison by now. How do you feel?" And he says, "All right." Kataru gave him the anecdote when she shot him that put him out. Last scene they were together. Guys, by the way, the drug that oh, that's what she says. My bad. I'm sorry. The drug that unidentified girl shot you with had neutralizing effect. I wonder what she wanted. My bad. And he says, "I'm
So yeah,
resuming our mission.
um,
I'm going."
so
Yeah,
basically, Kadaru shot him with a drug, and Joichi already had the like drone virus on him, the toxin. So basically,
yeah.
Kadaru really recovered him from
yeah.
like the yeah
But it was the toxin from one of the agents from DRF headquarters, not from her
yeah
spindles. Yeah.
no, not from her spindles, but later on she comes and recovers him like in a redirected way,
Yeah,
in a
like
roundabout
she's
way.
a good guy. She cares about them.
Yeah.
Their tech here. Sonicon says every iteration of Toei Heavy Industries dabbles in the unknown. Their tech here is on par for being the most advanced. Makes me wonder what are they really capable of. Oh, Toei Heavy Industries, yeah, pretty crazy stuff. I mean, their synthetic humans are badass.
Definitely, yeah.
Anyway, Zoichi, the mission man. I'm resuming our mission. I'm going to the Continental Geostationary Satellite. Fuyu's probably just like, very well, Zoichi, let's do it. And then we go back to Kozlov, the Baron gang. They're talking to the doctor. He's smoking a stogue. He gives the guys, this is important. He says that liquid is a reverse morphic polymer. Leaf hid it away. If you guys are reading scans online, this translation's slightly different, but I believe the word polymer is still used in it. I'm gonna call it the reverse morphic polymer. Nishu's like, how do you know? Doctor says, because long ago I was in the DRF's research and development division. Okay,
Oh
interesting.
Lord.
Oh geez, boom. She just like
fucking
fires a
blasted
shot
him.
right over his
Just
head.
fucking scalps him.
DRF.
Yeah, that's
You
magnum
mentioned
body
DRF,
goes
what'd you
off for
say?
you.
All my homies hate DRF.
Which I could see the doc like earlier. He didn't reveal that because he knew the TOA and DRF not good terms.
Hmm.
She freaks out. She's like, the DRF. Shin's like, no, Nishu, stop. The look on the doctor's face, just like, oh my god, I do not want to mess with this woman. Tell me what you know about the reverse morphic polymer. Looks like she settles down. He says, you saw what happened to the buildings in Ajitsa, right? That liquid is alive. It reacts to non-living materials, particularly geometric shapes, and absorbs them as it reconfigures their base matter. So, guys, really important here. Reacts to non-living materials, like the buildings. We saw them change. And
Yeah.
absorbs them as it reconfigures their base matter. So it's turning it into something else, like on a chemical composition level.
Also, like it reacts to the drones because the drones are like not living; they're like living dead. Their body is like kind of dead. So basically, reconfigure the
I guess
dead
that would too.
organism into something else.
All right. That is explained later on. We'll see what happens. They do explain that.
Yeah.
Well, so we'll get the words that they use later in the story. Anyway, the bear's worried. He's like, then why'd it melt my ear off? Shin's like, it didn't. I think the force of the polymer blast blew it off. Which goes back into like the pressurized liquid weapon. You know, it's
Yeah.
just such a high pressure, it blew it off. Doctor's like, Niardi wants to use it to improve the Earth's environment. What? Niardi? Surely the DRF's matriarch can't want all the world cities to be like Ajitsa Corp is now. Doctor says if she wants to, it wouldn't be hard to carry this out. The medium, okay, yeah, uses the term medium. The medium,
Yeah.
the drones, they cover the whole Earth. So the drones are kind of like a medium for this polymer he was talking about.
And also like the medium, and medium is basically can be a catalyst, and catalyst.
That's what I
can
was saying
also,
catalyst earlier for.
like in a reaction, the catalyst, like in chemical reactions, a catalyst goes into the reaction, changes, and then in the end of the reaction they come as it was before. So basically the catalyst
Well, I'm using
like,
it.
actually
I'm
takes
using it
birth.
as the way. It's like a material that makes a reaction bigger. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
gasoline is a catalyst for explosion when you light it on fire. Like it's enhancing whatever reaction is taking place.
But also like in chemical term,
Okay,
like
look at this.
scientific term, it also works. Like
So
um,
the definition for catalyst is a substance that increases the rate of a chemical reaction without itself undergoing any permanent. Okay, so I see what you're saying. You're arguing without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. So it acts like a catalyst, but it is changing.
Yeah,
I
but
wish
also
we had
like
a good word for that.
it's basically reactants or the medium, as he says. Chemical, everything can be a medium for reactions, to be honest. But what I'm trying to say here, like I kind of forgot. So Niardi wants to change the environment, like improve it. If you go into her castle, like the castle where she was standing, the structure of the castle kind of reminds me of like a biostructure. Like probably that's what she did over there, and she's going to try to do that everywhere in the world.
I see.
Yeah, I see.
I don't know. I
Right.
think Niardi's. I think she's telling people something different than what she actually wants. Which I think we learn later.
But like for now, at this point, like we can see like what the environment's gonna be. Yeah.
Anyway, so shit's hitting the fan. Niardi lost her mind. She wants to make the whole world like this, potentially. You don't know. TOA heavy industry agents are confused about what's going on. The doctor at least knows about the polymer and why the drones are reacting to it. Shin says if they let something so dangerous loose, they would be in danger too. Good point. The doctor says, oh, they have an evacuation site. And then Shin says the continental geostationary satellite. Okay, can dig that. Makes sense. Ryu's like, but wasn't that abandoned long ago? Shin says no. The continental geostationary satellite continues to adjust its orbit regularly. And that, guys, we get this cool picture of the satellite out in space being connected by the elevator,
The
whatever you want to
elevator.
call it.
Yeah.
The giant artificial satellite is still functional. Doctor says that's right. It was abandoned because Leaf sealed the entrance. Okay, so another cool fact. Leaf stole this polymer that he probably figured out on his own when he was working for the DRF, and he sealed the entrance to this geostationary satellite, probably as a measure so that if the DRF got a hold of the polymer, they would have nowhere to escape to prevent them from using it on Earth.
Yeah.
That's a good, I mean. And then he goes on to say, but if the DRF have unleashed the reverse morphic polymer, they've probably discovered how to open the entrance to the continental geostationary satellite. And guys, this is where I get my theory of, you know, they found Leaf and they pressured him to give them the polymer secret and to get back into the satellite. Because the doctor says, but if the DRF have unleashed this, then they probably have access to the geostationary satellite, which he just previously said Leaf sealed. So that's kind of what I think happened. We'll see. It's like my own personal theory. And then I don't want to say anything else because of like spoiler warnings. Anyway, we go to MSCF3, the base of the stationary satellite. Narain's looking at an overshot of the Ajitsa, what just happened at that zone, which is all like, you know, crazy mass, the polymers fucking it all up with the drones as the medium, and Love acting like a real Gendo. The drones? Yeah. I don't know. Sankan said, the drones act as a medium to speed up and streamline the interaction. True. And then she says, Love acting like a real Gendo. I don't know who Gendo is. Anyway, Dr. Frankenstein, or Frank, what's his name? Wildenstein?
Wildenstein.
Wildenstein. He's looking at the pictures. Headquarters has used the reverse morphic polymer. Narain's like, what is Niardi saying? Basically by her actions, I think. Or no, he's talking to a dude who has like a message for him. The guy's like, all PHS personnel, combatants and non-combatants, are ordered to withdraw from the MSCF by midnight tonight. The MSCF they're at, which leads to the satellite. So obviously the doctor was thinking right. Niardi is going to escape there. Wildenstein's like, that's at 72 minutes. Like, what? She says there will be no negotiations. Headquarters intends to activate the continental geostationary satellite. Niardi is coming here. All personnel to battle stations. Engage with full force. So Narain's not lying down. He's ready for a fight. And guys, this is interesting. It looks like we just have these regular like office suit DRF people, and they're talking to these guys that look like they're somewhat modified. Open the entrance to the satellite before the CEU. Wait, open the entrance to the satellite before the CEU from headquarters gets here. Okay. It's the only way to save us. So they're like, we need to go there before Narain's people get here and go there. They say, we'd have done that a long time ago if we could. What have you been doing in the last 200 years, he asks. And they're like, what? And then they like squabble. So
we know like Leaf already took that access, so they can't possibly go in there.
Well,
Yeah,
we know
200 years.
Narain's... Yeah, they've been trying to get there for 200 years. So Narain's people, his faction of the DRF, they obviously don't have the secret to the satellite like Niardi's faction potentially does, which may lead to some links like Niardi's the one that, you know, found Leaf and put a pincer hold on him basically, and Narain wasn't knowledgeable about it potentially.
Mm-hmm.
And then so we're going on, they're like, hey, guys, this girl's Kataru, the in her like regular human form. She's cute. Look at these little kids. How'd you get out of the shelter? You shouldn't be out here. It's dangerous. So it seems like these are the... I feel like
remnants
these are
of human.
Yeah, remnants of humans, either like just people that were saved because they wore masks the whole time, or potentially accommodators of the virus too. I think maybe they're like, how long
For
do we have?
me,
Yeah, go
to
on.
be like for me, it's like they're not accommodators for me because like if they were accommodators, they would have like they wouldn't have these masks or whatever. But I
Yeah.
think like they're like people in power who let all this happen. Like probably scientists as well, not just like CEU assassinators, like sorry, assassins. Like they're
Yeah.
actually people who worked here and their
Like
families.
the way she talked to them is like this had some kind of the elite status to be here to be safe, uh,
Hmm.
different from
Yeah,
the normal people that die on the street.
yeah,
Yeah, they must have some status to be choosing to be here to survive.
One of
yeah.
them
They're the
says,
members of Scientology. I'm sorry. Go on.
"Yeah, is the purification outside complete?" Kadaru is like, "Soon. We're doing our best. Please be patient." Which is a lie. So obviously they're telling these people lies to keep them calm.
Yeah,
And
Yeah,
Kadaru, guys, look at this. Kadaru is even wearing a mask to make them think that she needs one to be safe. Do you notice
yeah.
that? So
yeah,
she takes it
Like
off right
Yeah,
she had
afterwards.
to show her public face or public mask or some
Yeah.
sort to calm them down.
And it looks like shit's about to hit the fan. She turns into her badass. It kind of reminds me of Venom in this picture, but her badass, like spindled,
Yeah.
black armor form. And she goes out. Oh man, Hagide or Haguide. I love this character
Higuide.
so much. He's so
yeah.
cool.
He's like a
He's ready for
samurai
war.
warrior. Yeah,
And then end of chapter 21 with a ship heading towards them. All right, chapter 22.
not just
Oh,
a
this is
ship,
cool.
like
Yeah,
multiple ships.
it's not a ship. It's
Yeah.
an entire
Oh,
fleet
yeah.
of the flying mechs.
I thought they were clouds for a sec. You're right. It's a shitload
You
of
can
them.
you can see the dorsal spines
Yeah.
which unfold when they turn into
Yeah,
mechs.
they're
And then
abs of steel.
chapter 22, cool little cover page where we get like the bear blimp in the background. It's interesting. Nihei's bear love.
ERF. And
And
also like a
cool.
cloud of explosion that's in the background. Like he's looking at it.
Oh, yeah. I see that. And it starts off, we're at MFCF3. They say confirmation of headquarters aircraft. They've entered into new Shindai Bay airspace. And they're like, so it's true. We are being attacked by DRF headquarters. They're all like up topside, ready for war. And guys, the only way I can describe the following events is just like a comedic sci-fi fuck up moment because Dr. Wildenstein, I'm just like, every time I read this part, I'm just like, Nihei. Like,
Waldenstein.
Wildenstein comes out. They're just like, what is that? He like shows them this giant weapon. It is truly an interesting device. He's like, a
Classic
cerebro.
German scientist.
Yeah, for real, dude. A cerebro projectile accelerator. We're going to test it out. Prepare to fire. The dude's like, test? Headquarters forces will be here any second. Like, you want to test this thing now? Waldenstein's like, Kurokawa withheld this technology to the very end, but finally have completed it. The force that accelerates the shells is emitted by a brain that too is specially manufactured. Oh my god.
Basically,
Dude,
the artificial humans' guns. He wants to copy it.
yeah. Well, it looks like it's about to use the brain waves of everyone around it too, which we'll see. Anyway,
Yeah.
the office guy's like, or the guy in the suit's like, I
Office guy.
see. Okay, Waldenstein. Whatever, man. Brainwave concentration level 3, 7, 24. So it's like ramping it up. Sparks start going off on this cerebro projectile accelerator. And then we see this like chain of events of everyone around it, like just like signals and waves, electricity going from like brain to brain and body to body. Well, no, it is specifically their heads. So it looks like it's using the brain waves of like people in the vicinity to power this thing up, which might not have been what they hoped for because this panel here is them like, what's happening? And it just falls apart. Like it just doesn't work right. He says the barrel. It's and the dude about to fire, he gets caught up in the brainwave nonsense, pulls the trigger, and it just shoots off randomly. And it is super powerful, so it did work, just not the way they wanted it to.
And like kilometers apart, like we will see like a little bit like debris falls off a building, probably from the shot as well.
Yeah, it it gets Zoichi's attention off in the distance. He's like, "Is that coming from
Yeah.
MSCF3?" Fuyu says, "This wavelength, it's a projectile accelerator. The amount of brainwave emission is over 4,000 XL." Which, guys, that's what Zoichi's railgun weapon is. It's the 4,000 XL. So she's basically saying this is stronger than that. He's like, "What?"
Pretty powerful.
Really cool, though, about this weapon and the way it used energy. Fuyu's like, "I've detected Eon Green's brainwaves buried in the interference from the projectile accelerator. She's still at MSCF3. We must hurry." So that's kind of cool. Dude, Fuyu is crazy technological. Like, that's insane. A super cool TOA heavy tech. Anyway, back to MSCF3. the office people are just like, "We missed." Wallenstein's like, "Prepare the next shell, dude." This man is crazy. He's like, "I just want my weapon to work."
And then
It's too late, though.
They
Yeah.
passing the triggers and dead.
Yeah, dude. All the soldiers that were around are just like on the
They probably
ground.
got their brain fried already, and
Yeah, they got fried.
we're near to take another shot.
Some of them
It looks like,
survived.
yeah, the ones that come to, they're here. So it's too late. DRF headquarters and their mechs are landing down. Oh, this is cool. And then
The gun is
so
taken off. Yeah.
yeah, the gun. I mean, the gun didn't work very well. It falls down. It's not a thing anymore.
The mech's cut off, I think. Yeah, the mech cuts off the gun and just falls down. And yeah, look at the reaction of Wallenstein. It's like, what? And he just runs away. He just
Yeah, he runs
immediately-
away. He's like, "Fuck this." And guys, this is cool. So now we got DRF headquarters coming down on Narain's CEU group, and yeah, this is a pretty
We're
cool
gonna
like
see.
war battle scene going on.
Also, like we have seen the CEU killing drones so much, like killing people, and now it's it's the opposite here. CEU are the ones who are gonna get massacred.
Yeah, I kind of like this. I like the CEU. Well, I guess we'll get into it later. I'm Team Narain. Put it that way.
Definitely, yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Guys, okay, a lot of people when they read this story, they have no idea what's happening right now because they can't see that their factions in the DRF have been split at this point. So they're like, "What the hell is
Yeah.
happening?" The first time I read this, I was also kind of in that mindset, but
I think the first time I was confused because the translation I was reading was really bad. So yeah,
Yeah, same.
Yeah, that's also a factor.
anyway, it's just this badass action scene, and then Higuide. God, I don't know why I have some trouble saying that. I love Higuide. Higuide. It's a Higuide, right,
Higuide.
Millennium?
yes,
Alright.
it's Guide.
We should have just called him Guido from the beginning. That's easy to remember and say. Anyway, the ships from the DRF headquarters, they drop these like balls down on the land. Oh man, my mic is all fucked up.
Balls dropped.
So they drop the balls, man. And when they come
let's
to,
call it a landing pod.
They're basically like an not an egg, but basically
Oh, man.
circular things that fall, and you will see like they will like hatch, and yeah,
well, their
hatch
wings
into this
just like
thing.
spread out. They look like these like
Yeah,
weapon like mechanized angel looking things.
yeah. And for me, it's like more biological. I imagined it as biological thing, but yeah, it could be mech as well. But it's like white angels, yeah, like you said, but demonic as well.
Oh man. Everyone makes fun of me for smacking my lips when I talk in my videos and on the podcast.
Really?
Guys, I can't help it. Yeah, not everyone. Some people do. I only notice it when I re-go watch back. Whatever. Anyway, these things are badass. Higuide, one stands down Higuide. And yeah, guys, I mean, it's just a beautiful action scene laying out. The mechs are fighting, the ships are blowing off, those balls that transform into these like angel mech things are shooting up all over the place, and they finally get in to MFCF3 where Kataru is. Kataru is like, fuck, I gotta take these things down. Probably gonna be pretty dope. And Zoichi's just looking off in the distance. There's a bunch of explosions and everything going on around MFCF3. They're confused. Fuyu says, what's happening?
Like we're supposed to fight these guys, but they're killing themselves. Like
Yeah, like what is we're not even there to fight them. Who is fighting right now? Guys, also, I have a little theory on what these angel mechanoid looking things are. They're either like machines that are controlled remotely, I think, like from someone in the ships in the air, or they're like little mech suits with someone inside controlling them.
Yeah,
but they seem like mechanical in nature.
Yeah.
You can see like a mask wearing, like kind of facial structure if you look under their face, like under their masks.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Anyway, Zoichi and crew, you know, coming up out of the water again. Beautiful to have that bike. I'd like to have one. To MFCF3. And they're like, someone's coming.
But are they like driving underwater, or is it are they driving on the water?
I feel like he's on the surface, like the lower level of the water, like, you know, like, or not on the ground, like at the bottom
There's
of the
another
ocean
time that
when he's like
he
driving
drive up from the ocean too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember it correctly.
So basically, I think the speed of that thing would be like a it wouldn't need propellers, but it's like it's gonna be shoot through the water. It doesn't have to be in the underground, you know, because the water itself are like hard enough with enough speed, you know, you can take off inside the water like swimming with the bike.
Well, Sankan says the more technical jargon he throws in, the more it confuses. But yes, the faction splits are important. The exposition of the liquid is one part of the bigger beginning. Yeah, that's important to understand. Those are like mechanized fighter / inceptors. They seem to serve a larger purpose, seeing as they carry a supply of the polymer liquid. Good point, Sankan. That comes into play a little bit later. Also, guys, do note this. So these people that Zoichi first comes across, well, they'll say it too. Their masks are different than what the regular CEU mask is.
Yeah, they seem to be.
So, like, recognize this mask. That's like the DRF headquarters warriors
also,
and like army and stuff, not the CEU.
This, like, if you've read Apossums, like in Apossums, there's a similar mask like design with one of the characters, by the way.
Oh yeah, for the soldiers.
Yeah, they also look like the Electro-Fishers masks.
Oh, a little bit,
yeah.
So Fuyu says, that isn't the CEU. This unit reports directly to DRF headquarters. And then she's like, why are they attacking the PHS? So they still don't know. They don't know about the faction split or why this is happening. Yeah. Zoichi doesn't really give a fuck because he just drives over and shoots them all in the head anyway. He's like, whatever. I guess we'll find out as we go along. I don't want to ask these people questions. And he continues on. We go to a scene that's inside the building. One of the angel mechs is down, and we see the DRF headquarters people, you know, trying to get in further into the facility, it looks like. And they blow a hole through again. Oh,
no, it's not really... Like, they're like, it's really funny. Like, they say, yeah, lockdown completely, locked down this facility. They're kaboom.
Oh, yeah.
From the background that they use, it's the same area that they used to contain the living people in the containment.
Oh.
Yeah, probably these humans? Guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would make sense. They want to keep that place safe.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, it's getting really good. Let me see where this ends. Oh my God, we get to go through this stuff. This is crazy. All right. So we go back to Kataru, who looks like she's being healed a little bit. We saw her last time, she was about to fight the angel mech things. Looks like she won, but took some damage. And her other soldiers around her, like, they've breached the inner wall. Headquarters forces have entered the hall outside the shelter. And Kadaru kind of has a look on her face like, oh shit, like we're not winning this battle right now. We go back to Wildenstein. He's talking to some doctors. He's like, well, one of the doctors is like, the transfer is almost complete. Okay, this is really cool, guys. So we get to see this panel of Narain. This is Narain, and where his brain is, and then over here, this guy is the synthetic human that the agent found earlier in the volume. And looks like we're doing some kind of mind transfer thing between Narain's brain. He's going to try to put his mind into the synthetic human.
Also, like, just a little bit of trivia, that Narain, the god Narain in the Indian mythology, he has like hundreds of heads, like, so basically this guy has
really okay.
Yeah, so yeah,
I can dig that, dude. His body was so wild, and like the mutations he must have put his biological one through, at least with all the tentacles. Like, what? We don't get a lot of backstory on that. It just happened somewhere along the way.
We saw only a cover earlier on, like a hand forming. So yeah.
And then we go back to the battlefield, and Higuide is standing strong. Dude, I love. He's actually one of my favorite characters. And he looks upon the end of chapter 22 as he's looking upon this giant ship coming towards him.
Yeah, he also took a lot of damage too. Like you can see those spikes from the ball mech trooper
he's messed up,
piercing on his back.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Chapter 23, the cover is pretty cool. It kind of just shows MFCF3 where the satellite elevator's at.
Where's the sound coming from?
Shiokaze, what's up, man? What are your thoughts on Biomega? Your drawing's looking pretty badass.
I personally think Biomega is one of my favorite Nihei's work, but the later part is a bit confusing.
The later part is a bit confusing, so much so that
it's also like part of that is because the website that I read on is translated into my language, and the people there probably just don't really use that much of that knowledge. Mostly just Google Translate, so it's probably also why it's super confusing to read.
There's a bunch of scientific jargon words Nihei throws in here too that Sankan was talking about. That
worst
it's kind of confusing.
The worst thing about it is that they don't include all the pictures. So sometimes, like say for example, I read chapter 20, like 25. It doesn't include all the images, just some, so it's really missing the points.
That sucks, man. We can hook you up with some, if you can read English, which I assume you're speaking it. We can hook you up with some sites that I think show them all.
Yeah, I think I sent the link.
Yeah.
Millennium already sent like much better than what I have like read so far from another side.
Yeah.
Guys, I guess maybe we'll put a link in the description. I like Kiss Manga or Manga Rock. I can usually find pretty good translations there.
Oh, by the way, Inseinen, sorry to break it to you. Manga Rock and Kiss Manga both are not working anymore. They're dead sites.
No, right now? Yeah. Just this morning?
Yeah, Kiss Manga is not Kiss Manga went down long time ago. I probably went into a mirror, but mirror site that is not really actual site. Be wary of the virus, by the way, because those sites are not actual.
Definitely.
Of course, Manga Rock doesn't work. Went down because of PMCA. Yeah. So yeah, I think Manga for Life or Manga C is a really better site. But I would personally just say just download the actual file and read it to the manga reader. There are lots of sites for downloading. You'll not have to worry about ads or pop-ups.
Hey, what's up, Jestro?
Also sell it digitally somewhere.
Yeah, of course. If you want to buy it.
Oh, nice.
On Amazon, they sell the Kindles for the HD versions.
Yeah,
Ah, Kindle,
they
right?
are.
Yeah, from Amazon.
Yeah.
Nice.
Jestro says he needs to set a reminder. Always forget you start at 9 a.m. Yeah, I mean it is pretty early stateside. All the fans in Europe love it because it's like midday over there. Here it's like 9 a.m. on a Saturday. Everyone was out the night before drinking, so no one's up watching this
Oh, yeah.
here. I feel like, but it's whatever. I like to enjoy my Saturday. I got shit to do. Knock it out
Yes.
early.
Yeah.
Saturday is
So
chill.
So it goes to back to Zoichi. He's going around. Or no. We're at this is Nishu on her bike. She said the
Yeah.
DRF has invaded the PHS. What? They're looking at an image of this thing. Fuyu's like,
the
yes,
thing
they've
that
almost the thing that was
Yeah,
heading
this-
towards Higuide at the end.
yeah.
But it looks like there's multiple of them. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
looks
Anyway.
like
I think there's another one in the distance.
Yeah. Fuyu's
You know
like,
what's
yes.
funny about this? Like you say, like the ships were like dropping balls, and this ship looks like a phallic structure.
Slightly.
Anyway,
Let's
It's
not
not
draw
the only
dicks where there
phallic
are
thing,
none, Millennia.
I mean, there are literally schlongs in this volume, so you know.
oh yeah, okay. All right, so
So Fuyu's like, yes, they've almost annihilated the PHS's CEU force. Public Health Service. What is CEU again? Something
Central Extermination Unit.
compulsory
compulsory
You said
execution
right.
unit, yeah.
Yeah.
And that ship's bioarmor. It's enough to stop the reverse morphic polymer? Question mark. Shin asks. So this ship has some kind of bioarmor. Because guys, remember the polymer reacts to non-living things. So
Yeah.
theoretically, you get bioarmor, some kind of living tissue. The
Yeah.
polymer
Oh,
won't
I
affect
see.
it. Yeah. So that's why they're talking about this here. They're like, without a doubt. The DRF has come to open the entrance to the continental geostationary satellite. We have to stop them from using the reverse morphic polymer. We'll be there soon, so don't do anything reckless, Zoichi. So that's, yeah, Fuyu talking with Nishu, cross distance. Zoichi's
Yeah.
listening in. Zoichi's like, man, reckless is my middle fucking name. I'm Zoichi. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's charging.
Also-
yeah.
Like
It's
you
just
can
funny.
see like I think we're going back in time a little bit, like when George is coming and you'll see the like electricity around his like helmet. Basically, he's shielded from that weapon that the Wildstein used, and so yeah.
You know, like the first chapter when Zoichi enters the place with like the NS5 where they keep Iron Green.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then the guard just stop him, and then he's like, "Nah, fuck this! Just pull out his gun and shoot them all."
yeah.
Yeah, that's just super reckless of him.
Yeah.
Well, he
It's
just doesn't
really
care. I love it.
emotional. Yeah,
Yeah. Then
Anyway, he
Fuyu's like-
charges up his railgun, and Fuyu says temporarily lowering the brainwave emission shield and searching for Eon Green's brainwaves. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying, Millennium, about the emission shield. It looks
Yeah.
like they need to lower it to shoot this thing off. Oh my god, this is beautiful. He lets off a blast from the railgun that just blasts right through the bioarmor ship. And we just see the recoil put his bike just like slam back into the wall. Super sick.
yeah.
And it looks like he causes a lot of damage. I don't know if it actually falls out of the sky.
Excuse me. Where's the noise coming from? Do you know? Can
What
you
do you
guys hear a noise?
Yeah, but
might
I,
be
like
I don't think
construction
it's
noises,
me.
kind of.
All right, I'm gonna
Could be
remove.
Hiokaze or Inseinen.
Because
might
I
be
cannot hear
outside.
Inseinen sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me remove myself and see if you hear it still.
Yeah, it's
Oh
Okay.
yeah,
from
now
the
it's
side.
gone.
Yeah,
It's
it's
him.
him.
Come back.
Dude, it's
Good
the
riddance.
bugs out. It's the bugs outside, man. I have my mic on close. How bad is it?
It's the bugs.
No,
I thought it's
it's
like
Not that bad
construction.
on mine.
We're reading Biomega, man. Bugsy.
I thought it's like construction happening somewhere, like drills and like stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
that.
what I thought too.
Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
it stopped. Maybe they were having sex. I don't know. Anyway, so we go to the head of one of these bioships. It looks like it's Niardi's. It's a synthetic human from Toa Heavy Industry, and they're looking at Zoichi because he just took out one of their ships. They fired him, but he's like driving away on his bike like a beast. And oh yeah, the thing he shot does crash. Hagid sees the bioarmor ship crash. Looks like after the one Zoichi shot,
Yeah.
or just
And
or
in that
just
ship was
lands.
that ship was where Niardi was in. So she's basic. George was like trying to take that ship off. So yeah, ship out. But she landed. I don't think she wanted to land in this place because she's trying to get into the satellite in the sky.
Well,
So
we'll
yeah,
see. It doesn't take her too long.
yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Jestro is talking about Knights of Sidonia movie. It airs this week in America.
Oh,
We'll
really?
talk about it. We'll talk about it after we get through the volume. I didn't want to talk about that. The Knights of Sidonia movie. Anyway, Niardi lands, and there's like a cool little walkway that jettisons from the ship, and she comes out. One of her soldiers is like, Matriarch, I have a transmission from the Guardian of the Left. Eon Green has been located. Niardi's like, excellent. Kill her immediately. Also, finish off the remnants of Toa Heavy Industry.
Excellent, killer immediately.
Yeah. So, guys, this either means that she knew she no longer needed Eon Green, or no, that's spoilery. Well, guys, we can talk about this later. Also, the guys, there's these cool cyborgs called Guardian of the Left, Guardian of the Right. It looks like the one standing next to her here is the Guardian of the Right, because the dude said we just got a transmission from the one on the left. Anyway, they're pretty badass.
I don't think it's the right one. For me, I don't think it's the Guardian of the Right because Guardian of the Left is the
this guy.
Okay,
next to her, right here.
Yeah, but the guy who's talking is not okay. Right, yeah, because they have different helmets, So
yeah, I mean they look different. Homeboy. So we go back inside. Everyone's causing a panic. They're getting attacked. They got innocent refugees and just non-combatants and shit. This position is compromised. Everyone retreat. Some dude who lost his arms like, Kataru, evacuate this child with all the other non-combatants. Oh, and it's Eon. Kataru's like, this girl is. She recognizes it's Eon Green. Oh no! But then just dude, a fucking missile comes right into the room and just blasts everything.
It kills the dude.
Yeah, that dude was good. I think. Yeah.
And it looks like Kataru protected Eon, and most of the other people in the room seem dead. Oh, and then the DRF headquarters, they're busting in. They say we found them. Oh, this is such a cool scene coming up. Kataru shoots her like little needle weapon things, sticks them. They're incapacitated. She's got some super high speed running on the walls. And then she faces off against the angel mechs in just a pretty brutal fight, man. God, I love the action in Biomega so much.
Yeah.
She's like runs away like a Matrix fight, and she's just climbing the walls. And yeah, we find that angel-like thingy that comes, and she tries to shoot the spindle towards it, but yeah, there's a brutal fight. I think she shoots the spindle, yeah, but then she also
she gets smashed into the wall.
Yeah, she does. And now she sees like the transmission. I think that's where the Guardian of the Left is. The Guardian of the Left says, "Girl, capture unnecessary. Termination commence." So
yeah, he's some kind of cyborg. I don't know if he's just completely AI or he's just like.
I don't think it's an AI. Cyborg? I think it's a human who's been transformed by Spinderu, because Niardi. Like Niardi can control, she can go inside with
man-made
the
stuff. Right?
tentacles. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's true. We'll learn about that. Anyway, homeboy. Oh yeah, yeah.
Zoichi blasted
Kataru
him.
might be effed by the Guardian on the left, but luckily, well, the Guardian notices something and dodges it at the last second, and it was a shot by Zoichi. We learn when we turn the panel, and he's so quick that he like gets up behind Zoichi, knocks him down, his helmet goes flying. And oh, but this is so cool. Zoichi had implanted a bomb on him when he was near
Yeah.
him, and it just blasts his side and tears his body in half. I forgot about that part. That's
Wait,
sick.
can we even see Zoichi put a bomb on it? I don't think so.
I think it's just when you see when he's thwacked, like his punch from the back, his hand probably reached his back, I guess. But it's like really like a ninja move from Naruto, like you can see.
Never.
Oh my god, Jestro. Yeah, Eon Green has brain damage or something. I'll get to that later.
He
I
is.
explained that in my video, but I think I know why. I think I have an idea why. It's kind of a spoiler though. So Zoichi's now like aiming down Kataru and Eon. He's like, go, but Eon Green stays with me. And Eon's just like, your nose is bleeding. Yeah, dude. She is on a different level for sure.
She is built different.
She's built different. And
Priorities.
yeah, Kataru agrees. So now Eon Green's with Zoichi. Fuyu's like, Zoichi, are you just going to leave the others to die like that? And he doesn't respond. He's got his man on a mission, dude. Okay, but cool. So back to where Narain is trying to do his experiment with the synthetic human. The doctor's like, all cycles complete, no synthetic human brainwave abnormalities. What is the condition of the donor? Talking about Narain's, tentacle body. That's the donor. He's in a coma. I think, right? The donor's the one who's giving it. Is the donor the fucking synthetic one? Did I mess that up?
No, it's Narain.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
Narain,
the
okay.
target body. Yeah.
Wallenstein's like,
Narain is in coma, but the synthetic body. But the donor brain. If you talk about the donor, it's basically the guy who gave it already, and so if he's in coma, like the synthetic body is in coma, the synthetic body has the brain of Narain right now, and the Narain's like the tentacle body. The tentacle body has the brain of the clone,
No, I think the copy.
No, dude, he's copying his mind. You'll see in a sec. Anyway, Wallenstein's like,
because,
good.
like,
wake up the recipient. After confirming successful mind transfer, put the donor brain to sleep. Letting the same person have two existences would be dangerous. So he's transferring his mind into the synthetic human body, but he still has his same mind in Narain. It's almost like he's imprinting what his mind is onto the synthetic human while maintaining it still being on with his brain in the Narain tentacle body. Because it says,
I don't know about that, because like you say, like before.
Well, I think he literally says letting the same person have two existences would be dangerous.
Yes, of course, but it's like if you make a clone yourself, but think about like how I'm thinking. If you make a clone of yourself, but without the memory of your memory, and then that clone has the same brain structure as you, and then you transfer your mind to that clone's brain. Okay. So what happens is then that it's a cycle. They maintain a cycle. What's the cycle? It's like going and coming forward, back as well. So if your brain is going to the clone's brain, the clone's brain is coming to your brain, like the clone's memory coming to your memory.
No,
dude, because fucking Niardi.
They explain it as a cookie.
Yeah, Niardi breaks in and has a conversation with original Narain. And it's like he's still there in his brain, but he just transferred also a version of it over to the synthetic one. They didn't
But
swap
he,
because, dude, Niardi, we literally see her have a conversation with Narain in a few panels.
okay, let's go on then. I might have missed something. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But
No
at the same
problem.
time, like, do we see that the tentacle monster uses power again?
We'll see him
With
talk.
Narain. Yeah,
We'll see.
but
We'll
he
see.
doesn't use his spindly power again. So, okay, let's go on.
Yeah, it's confusing. That's a good. I mean, it's a good point though. Anyway, so now they're talking to. They're directing their words at the synthetic human who should have had the transfer complete. They're like, General, can you hear me? Because technically, original Narain's in a coma.
Yeah.
And they're going to put that brain to sleep after they verify it worked right. And they're like, General Narain, question mark. And then we get some like blorps, and it looks like the donor is awake, administering the drug. So they're like, no, that's not good. We don't want this person to have two existences. They were going to, they're trying to administer the drug to Narain's original body to keep him back into a coma. But before they can do that, little spirit matter busts through the wall here. Niardi's on her way. And then boom. They just break in. They like kill everyone, take everyone hostage, putting guns to their heads. This is so cool. Dude, this scene where she enters like this. I don't know. And okay, so she's talking. A brain transfer system. Is that how badly you wanted to live forever, Narain? Something really interesting, which we can talk about later. Wildenstein says, as the world's second oldest person, you're hardly one to talk. Now, we'll get to that later. I think he might not know of who all is alive right now because I personally don't think she's the second oldest person. Anyway, they're like silence. And she uses her spirit matter on like the glass that Narain's in. They're keeping his body in. He busts out. This is not a friendly meeting. Niardi's like fucking with Narain. And right here, Narain talks. He's like, original Narain. He's like, Niardi. She says, what happened? Your brain is collapsing. Like, you're effed up. It was probably on its way out. Or maybe just the mind transfer process took a toll on his original brain or something. But he's still in there. And he says, your amendment to the plan was rejected. The human species general conversion plan will now revert to the original model proposed by Leaf when the DRF was founded. Okay, so some more clues about what originally happened in the past. She says,
here's where my theory comes. Sorry, go on.
All right, yeah. Explain your theory now, Millennium, because he's still in there. He talks like he has his memories of when he was with Niardi.
But you see, like, here's the thing: if you make an exact copy yourself, like theoretically, and we're not talking about the Biomega, like if you make an exact copy of yourself and you make that copy as a decoy, like it's not a backup, like it's like it can die, it's like disposable. Then you can do whatever with that original body. And your new body is like your advance, like you advance with your new body in the future, right? So your older body doesn't have any use for it anymore. So if you have a perfect clone of yourself and your older body, like the mind transfer is complete as well, because they could just make a clone of Narain if you really think that the new synthetic body of Narain is like a different, like mind transfer happened and it's a copied brain. But I don't think it's like a copied brain. I think it's a cycle, like they mentioned, like your consciousness goes into the new body, and the new body's consciousness also comes to your older body. But your older body now has the cloned memories.
Look, Millennium.
So basically
I see what you're saying. Like they swap consciousnesses.
Yeah.
And that could exist in a different story in fiction, but I don't think that's what happens in Biomega. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
but I'm not going to I haven't yet said my theory, like what's like it's based on. Basically, in the original like Toa Heavy industry, when you see that a mother body is there to like actually give the people their soul, they say we cannot give this body soul yet. We're gonna have to like have their actual childhood, like we're gonna have to rear them up inside this time capsule, right? But we don't see that with that synthetic body of Narain, because Narain just they do it immediately. Like
Yeah,
they
but
don't spend
we got
time.
freaking Wildenstein was in on
Yeah,
it. So who
yeah.
knows what
While
he
this
did?
kind was on it, of course. But here's another thing that I want to mention. I don't know if it's a spoiler. Have we yet seen the brain transplant scene of the bear? Have we?
No, that's at the end.
Oh,
Stop that.
okay. Sorry. All right. Never mind. All right. All right. Okay then. All
I
right then.
know
Carry on. My
it's
curious.
so hard
Okay.
not to like give spoilers throughout the story because they're on the
Yeah.
timeline. I think we talked about that enough. Guys, Nihei's work is up to interpretation. Both sides
most of
have
them.
things. You can, I'm sure we've talked about it enough where you can at least form your own opinion or pick a side by now.
All right. Yeah.
Anyway, so she's like, Niardi's like, do it. Talking about shooting. And Wallenstein's like, stop. But he goes and shoots the synthetic human body, which is behind the glass, which it looks like it reaches him. In this scene here. So
Yeah,
you
of
might
course,
think
yeah.
the synthetic human is dead, but we'll
It is
see.
not.
So Niardi's like, it is impossible to sustain immortality for the whole species. The planet would just fill up with people. Guys, I think this is a response to Narain's comment of how he wants the human species general conversion plan to revert the original model proposed by Leaf when the DRF was founded, which was this. I think Leaf, he's a scientist, right? Like, or
He's
he was
typing like
lying,
that.
or he was lying to people because maybe he has a different true intention, which maybe we'll figure out later. Some speculation there, but at least from other people's perspectives, Leaf's vision was immortality for humanity, and that was the original purpose of the DRF and the studies that were done.
Excuse me. One thing. Can you hear the keyboard tapping?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I have.
All right.
Someone's clicking. It's probably Jade because Jade's not talking.
No.
So it's probably typing.
It's Shiokaze. It's
Probably
Shio.
me. Sorry.
Oh, it's Shio? Oh, you're good, brother. It doesn't really bother
no,
me. I would like to hear more from Jade, though. I know I talk a lot. You can just always interject, like
Yeah.
I really just talk to move us along so we at least cover a volume within 2 hours, but always interject if you want to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Interrupt every time.
right now this is my maybe second or third read through with you guys, and yeah, there's a lot of like what to say, things
Little
that I
details
don't get really well. That when I was reading it alone, that right now we are doing it with you guys, and it's kind of clear up like a lot more.
Yeah, it's like a book club, to be honest, like reading club.
Yeah,
Dude, that's why
exactly.
I love doing Nihei's work on these podcasts because there's so much to talk about in between the panels. They don't just
It's like
follow like a linear story that anyone could like a kid
It has
could like
room
follow.
for like it has room for like interpretation to each of their own, which is why
Absolutely.
But for me,
I must have read through
on
this
my-
like 10 times. So
yeah.
it just
so
takes I think it takes a minimum of 3 read-throughs to like really get a good idea, to be honest, which is crazy.
Probably. and most of all, I think I need a better copy to read on. Like the one that I have like so far is pretty lame on both quality and translation. And talking about interpretation, I think the Biomega is has a lot more detail, like far from what that it has on when he write blame, but also I feel that in Biomega that there's a lot of hand holding. Like you're not just reading and being leave in a vacuum to like interpret everything on your own. There's still
you're
some
not always like in the dark.
yeah, there's still some rope to hold on,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, and I feel like Nihei always gives you just enough to like put some things connect dots in your own mind, but you still have to like fill in the blanks, fill in the spaces. Even Kevin was like, in between panels is a good way to describe things, because so much stuff. There's so much happening, especially right now. Anyway, I'm excited. Okay. Oh yeah. So Niardi just said she put her stance out there. It is impossible to sustain immortality for the whole species. The planet would just fill up with people. She has a different mindset than Narain and that Leaf originally had. But Narain continues. He says no. Immortality itself would regulate the population, which then you could get into a conversation about morality and how that would work. It's not like he's an idiot for thinking that immortality would regulate the population. Like it's a valid theory.
And like scientifically, like the purpose of reproduction is like we pass on our gene because our body will die. Like it's like a survival mechanism for a species, or to not be in extinction. Like and here like we see actual extinction happening through the drone epidemic, and now we see this like it's a scientific perspective from Narain, that is.
Anyway, Niardi is like, I won't change humankind, but I am going to use the reverse morphic polymer to build a new world order. Interesting.
So it's like changing the humankind. I don't know. Have you guys read?
She does not want to make people immortal. That's what she means by I won't change humankind. But she does want to build a new world order. I think she just wants power, dude. I think she's a power-hungry psycho.
To talk about like something inspired from Sutamoni's work was like Attack on Titan. Like in Attack on Titan, it's not a spoiler really because it's been revealed ages ago.
Wait. Is it past?
No.
I'm waiting for the last volume to be published in English. So
no, it's already in anime. So I'm not.
Okay, that's
I'm
fine.
not going past anime. So like in the anime, you probably seen the character of Zeke Yeager.
Yeah, the monkey.
So the Zeke Yeager talks with the scientist like he's a previous monkey, like I forgot his name, Xavier. So he talks with Xavier and says like like our stem cells, basically not stem cells, like spinal fluid can actually change the humans. But then it can also do other things. Like here, it's like similar ideology. Like this matter, like the medium of Jones and the the polymer, they can actually change the environment, but they can also transform humans into something else. So it's like transhumanism versus environmentalism.
I see. Yeah.
You dig that. Anyway, then Niardi says, "Oh, you've died." So Narain's original body in his brain, no longer a thing. He's out of this world. But some interesting noise is coming from that synthetic human who they shot in the head. Glop, 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 glop.
Yeah, and you can see a close up on his
eyes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we just go to Zoichi, and they're alarmed. Zoichi senses something. Fuyu's like, "What's wrong, Zoichi?" And then obviously he's concerned, so maybe he can sense what's happening. Okay, chapter 24. Last chapter of the volume. Oh my god, guys, this chapter is very important. So much crazy shit happens. I'm so stoked. I know Songkhan's been like waiting for this all episode. So we go back to the scene. Wait, did I skip the page? No, it just goes to Frankenstein or Wildenstein getting shot in the head. Boom.
It also shows just before that. It shows the wall base is beginning to melt from the matter.
Like one interesting thing is like we see Narain's body is decaying at this moment. Like his body is like on the ground, but on the other side, there's some small cracks in the chamber where the artificial Narain is. And in the artificial humans, one thing to notice is that the bullet didn't actually kill the thing. And my theory was like, now I can say it. It's like if Narain's second body has the soul of the previous Narain, the original Narain, then he can use his like superpower here, and he basically could deflect the bullet, like with his psychic ability. But it's like too much like shot in the dark, so I'm not gonna go with that theory anymore.
Yeah, and the point is that he was.
Well, at that point, he had already transferred his mind, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
He already had Narain's mind in the synthetic body, so he might have been able to do that.
The copy in the synthetic body was asleep. still. So
Yeah,
it wasn't conscious yet.
yeah, yeah. So
Eh,
yeah,
So we go
goodbye
on.
to
Um,
Wallenstein.
yeah, Waldenstein, they shot him, thought he was dead. He comes up from the
They
death.
actually overkill him, by the way. Like they overkill him a little bit, like repeatedly shoot at him like twice. Boom, thunk. So yeah.
I mean, he's
Well, the thunk
mortified, so
might
they
have
kind
just
of
been his
ignore that.
head. Oh, true.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Either way, he comes up from not being dead and blast the DRF headquarters dude in the head. And they're like, "What? Waldenstein, your body?" He says it's the quasi N5SV. We managed to suppress its adverse effects on the brain. So it's similar to like, what all the patrol inspectors had before.
Yeah.
Might be a new
Yeah.
version though, potentially. And then he
Yeah.
says, before long, we'll perfect a drug that makes flesh immortal while keeping memory intact. So that's what they've been working
Oh,
on. And guys, this is where some like crazy stuff, speculation and theories, and I wish we got more words in here because Niardi
Another
says,
thing,
yeah,
another thing to mention is like right
Saigon.
here, while
Yeah,
so so Wallenstein is basically distracting them from what's happening in the background, really.
that is
Like at
true.
this
Very good
moment,
point.
Narain is just moving away. Yeah.
Um, so Niardi's like, is that what you gave Narain? So guys, Niardi's either referring to the quasi N5SV that Waldenstein took himself, or she's referring to the comment Waldenstein just made about a drug that
Yeah.
makes flesh immortal while keeping memory intact. It's not
Memory
clear.
intact.
And then
Yeah.
he's like, yes, I just administered it. It's never
oh
been
shit.
used on a synthetic human before. I don't know what will happen. So there's a lot of different components here of like mystery and um, I
It's like
honestly think it's that drug he was trying to perfect, and they they,
Mhm.
they maybe couldn't finish testing it, but they gave it to synthetic Narain anyway because I mean,
also
the last ditch effort. They might as well try. Like,
also
That's
like
true.
to perfect the like Kurokawa's artificial human generation. Basically, they had to be in the time capsule. Like they didn't have to generate a memory with a long amount of time. But here, he just like keeps the memory intact. Like he uses a drug that should have the original creator's like memory, put it into the new synthetic ones. So he's immortal. So also has the
well,
memory.
I also think he's kind of making it like, yes, there's a synthetic human. Narain transferred his mind over to it. Okay, but
Yeah,
then he
Oh,
administered that new drug, which would keep those memories instead of fucking them up.
yeah,
So we have a synthetic human Narain with Narain's mind, and then he's also
yeah.
taken this drug that they've been using to try to perfect to make the flesh immortal while keeping memory intact. So two different components here with Narain's new body. And he even says it's never been used on a synthetic human before. I don't know what will happen. So he's like, we don't know. Maybe they didn't have enough time to test before the attack started, but whatever. Anyway,
so
Shing, guardian of the right or the left, just kills him, slices his face in half. Shut up! Stop talking, Wallenstein. Just die already.
and
And
I now this face is just like an emoji, right? Like every time I see it, it's like a surprised emoji.
oh, Jestro really ask. Yeah, I don't know what Corey Taylor's new mask looks like, but I am gonna go see Slipknot's gonna be at Rockville here in Florida in November. So I guess I'll see then. Love Slipknot. Anyway, this is important. I don't want to get like there's a lot of confusing shit going on. We got to stay focused. So the smoke comes out, or just something is coming out of where Narain's synthetic body is, and it's like alive. It's breathing. Zoichi makes a comment. He says, "Below us, a synthetic human." Fuyu's like, "Zoichi, what's this? A brainwave?" So Fuyu's sensing a brainwave, and then guys, massive explosion. That brainwave came from synthetic Narain, whose obviously his powers transferred over. They probably used his same genetic makeup to make the clone and the synthetic human type thing. to like
Yeah.
if his powers did come from some kind of biological essence of his DNA, whether it was mutated or otherwise, it's been transferred over to this new body.
Yeah.
And then boom,
so
dude.
psychic brainwave.
Yeah,
That's
psychic
like-
brainwave. We see this giant explosion go off. Bodies are flying. There's like a massive hole that's cut through to the outside. And yeah, we see this like giant pit right here.
So one thing, it's like a
Okay.
puzzle. Like the synthetic humans of Toa heavy industry, they can't have they are not psychics, but they can use their brain waves with the gun. They can use the gun to use their brain waves. But at the same time, we see someone like Kadaru or Spindaru, who also has psychic powers, but they can use their brain waves just like Narain as well. So Narain just put Wildenstein put those two together, and the brainwave of the Toa heavy industry and the psychic ability of Narain and Kadaru, and yeah, we have this now, the synthetic.
Well, and he took
Yeah.
that new drug, which we know from previously. I mean, yeah, it's been perfected, but previously it enhanced people's abilities. Like we saw in Volume 1, the patrol inspector, when he injected it into himself, now he could regenerate. His strength seemed like it was stronger. Like,
Yeah.
so we're looking at like a beefed up, powered
Like some
Narain.
kind of steroids.
Yes. Steroids.
Anyway, so they fly. They're like, everyone's making fun of Eon just breathing air and not doing anything. Yeah, we'll get to why maybe she's not all there.
She's almost
Anyway.
useless, like a bunny.
Niardi escapes with her guardian to get away from the damage and stuff. Zoichi's driving along to the scene. They're like such a large blast for a single brainwave. So this is unprecedented. Kind of scary right now. They don't know what to expect. A hand comes out of the hole, and then this is so beautiful. Narain synthetic human body, ready to kick some ass.
Dronified.
Yeah, dronified, like the new drug and stuff. Guys, notice these like clouds or this some kind of forming of energy above his head.
Just like his name, the Mech nut is like a cloud.
Yeah,
above
and
his
it's
head.
like cycly.
Yeah.
Energy kind
And
of.
thunder's coming out of it.
Yeah.
Oh,
At first, it's
right
got me
name.
confused about his scale. It's
The scale
almost
of
like
his power is
make
crazy.
make me think that he like revived into a giant body or something because of the shape of the
no.
cloud and the spike of the
The spiral and
electricity.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a really tiny,
now-
like a human size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone
it's-
else
yeah,
notice
actually
this?
a
It looks like
human
he has
size.
like 2 dicks. Did anyone else notice
That's
that?
what I'm thinking, y'all.
Yeah, it does.
He looks like he has 2 penises right here.
Oh yeah.
Also,
Maybe it was a
like,
side effect. They might not be penises though. They might just be something else. I don't know, but that's what they look like.
Nutsack.
they do look like penises, and of course, like in the older like bad scans, like magazine scans, we didn't. It's so dark in those scans, like we don't have any reference points. Like here,
Yeah.
Sutamoni actually put the reference point beside the.
Yeah.
First time we see him, there's a human body beside it. So yeah,
Yeah, that's the only indication of the scale that I got right now.
yeah,
I see.
Yeah.
Oh,
it
his
in the
power?
original?
If you remove the core, like you can mistaken him like easily about his scale.
yeah.
Oh,
And he's so
big.
detailed. That's why. Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
a gigantic god scale right now.
Anyway, guys, important. Nardi must realize what's happening, and she freaks out. She's like, eject all the containers. We'll bury Narain in the base. So when she says base, I assume she's referring to the mass that's created when the polymer mixes with the drones. Like,
Yeah.
because we'll see this base
The-
cover the Earth later.
The
I think-
MSF3 probably, just the base they are on right now.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, that might be it. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Like, this is the base of the satellite. So basically, they're trying to bury him inside the base.
Oh,
But-
okay. She can mean that too. I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're saying like space
Yeah.
satellite. Anyway, guys, Narain, synthetic Narain is on a new level of just godliness in his speech
Yeah.
right here. My translation says low. Anytime you start something with low, it's like, all right.
Like
Who-
deity
who-
of a god.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Lo.
lo and behold.
I am the great immortal being Narain. Let consciousnesses return to those baptized by the drone epidemic to their everlasting bodies. Awaken.
Oh, wait.
So
Like his
Jesus
God
Christ,
complex, just
yeah.
on
Uh,
steroid.
And we'll see why he says this. So Zoichi's like, that synthetic human is Narain. He's like a little shocked. And then boom, the capsules, the ships are dropping or shooting out the shipments of the drones. They're like these capsules filled with drones. And
Another
the
thing
drones are
is
like
like,
flying. Yeah.
sorry, the last volumes we talked about what does he mean by baptism. Like in actual baptism in real life, it's basically symbolic death, right? Like you're drowned and then you come back up and then you're a new human.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
reborn in somewhere or
So
another.
this, yeah, exactly, like the drones are dead, kind of like dead humans, and now they're gonna get reborn as an immortals. And yeah.
Kevin's like, sometimes a tentacle is just a tentacle. But yeah, but dude, synthetic Narain looks like he has two dicks right here. Like, come on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Kevin,
we can
look at that, Kevin. You can't can't
Yeah.
deny that.
There's
Yeah, the
even
novel
I just see them as like just a big clit. That's it.
Anyway, this is important. Let's not get off on dicks. So the drones are flying in the air. Fuyu's DR ship is scattering drones. They want to use them as catalysts for the reverse morphic polymer, because we saw that happen earlier in that city. So they're landing on the ground. So next they need the polymer, because now there. So they're looking for what's going on. Fuyu's like, there, I found Niardi, the DRF's matriarch. And then we go back to Narain, who's walking towards the drones that are now on the ground. And guys, there's this beautiful 2-page spread. There's this swirl of energy, psychic brainwave thing going on over his head. And what he does, he touches one of the drones, okay, and turns them back into their human form, which is, I mean, if you listen to the words he said, he's like, let consciousnesses return to those baptized by the drone epidemic to their everlasting bodies, awaken. So this is what he's doing. That's what he was talking about.
But another thing that I want to mention is that, so this Jesus, like, he's trying to bring everyone back to normal, but he's actually failed. Already we can see he actually failed. Do you know why?
Who,
Because
Narain?
look at the... Yeah, Narain has already...
He succeeded. What do you mean he failed?
He failed because look at the faces of the two persons that he regenerates.
They look normal. Back. That's a babe, dude. Look at this babe.
Okay.
Total babe.
Here's my theory, though.
Yeah,
look at the faces.
And another is Keanu Reeves.
Like, you mean like he returns
the babe looks like... the babe looks like...
They kind of look empty.
Wait, guys.
Emotion of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Never be sure.
Let's let Millennium get his theory out.
This is a wild theory. It might not be even true. So
I'll say my theory after yours of what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, let it out.
At first I thought like that he's turning them into normal humans, but immortal. But the immortal bit is where I got this theory from. Basically, look at the face of the female. She looks like a lot like Rirodo. And look at the male. He looks a lot like the dog.
Who? Who does he look like?
Who does he
Do you remember the doctor? The doctor, the bear and the doctor.
Which doctor?
The doctor with the bear.
The doctor of the bear?
Oh, that guy.
Oh, that doctor
he looks
with no
similar,
name.
But like these could just be coincidences you're drawing. I would argue that Rurudo is a lot lighter skinned than this babe. I love how we're just
Maybe
the babe.
it's just a default male for Nihei when he's drawing extra characters or something.
Of course. But here's the thing: he actually had to draw these two characters. Why is there not any other characters with other faces? Only these two. Why? And then in the story, we know they're more immortal beings in the story, and we know that Niardi is not the second one, so there might be another one. So basically, two other. And what if, like, by Narain trying to make them human again, like immortal human again, he's basically just making clone of the original two immortal being.
But how would he do that?
He's not doing it consciously. Like, it's how it works. Because look at the drone. Like, how does the drone epidemic started? From the cells that came from the Rodo in the space. So if he actually trying to reverse it with the reverse polymer, what is actually giving us is the original, not the original body of the humans, but the original body where the drones, the regions came from. So basically, it's the body of the original immortals who actually gave the drone cells to the humans, like where the drone cells came from. I mean,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'll say my theory. So
yeah.
And it goes along with Niardi or Narain's powers. His psychic powers usually work in a spiral, which is kind of like I said it. I explained this in my video. I'm basically going to repeat myself for the people that haven't watched it.
I saw it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So his powers work in a spiral, which is similar to like the helix of a DNA, which we know the virus that turns these things into drones attack and like change it on a DNA level.
Yeah.
Narain, this perfected drug, gave him the knowledge of how to transform the original, effect that the parasites that caused the drone epidemic caused. Because like that's how these quasi N5SVs were made. They basically took what the parasites did and they fucked with it. He found the secret to master it and become immortal with it without having the negative side effects.
Yeah.
So he's literally just manipulating their DNA, which is in a spiral fashion because he has the spiral psychic powers to mimic what it would look like if they all took this perfected new drug that he just took.
But
and he's turning them back into regular humans that are now immortal.
Yeah, of course. But hear me out. So in a DNA, when a DNA like transcription happens, like it's copied to another thingy. But if a virus infects a DNA in our like body, what it does, it inhibits that replication. And what it does actually, the virus itself replicates itself.
Yeah, guys, but I mean, sorry, Millennium, but this is a different virus, than probably what exists in reality right now. We're dealing with certain fictional elements.
Of course, I'm saying, but I'm talking about from the scientific perspective because I study biology. So what's the thing is like when a virus actually inhibits your cell, like normal human cells, what it does, it's some virus it inhibits the replication of your cell, and it's saying replicate me. So the DNA that they are actually replicating has the RNA of the original of the virus, not your original RNA. So what happens is that the new DNA that it creates is actually the DNA that will create more viruses. And here, if your theory is actually true, like if Narain, I think my theory actually. So if Narain is actually reversing the DNA,
you think Narain's turning them into Rurudo and Leafs, which is like crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like RNA is like half of the DNA, right? RNA is like half of a DNA because a DNA has two strands that go into spiral. So if
I think this dude looks different than Leaf. I think.
I don't say that it looks like Leaf. I think he looks like the dog. So anyway, so carry on. I might be wrong.
Yeah, but Doc was a synthetic human.
Yeah, but like look at the facial hair and stuff. Did the original drone have facial hair?
I mean, what if Nihei just said that drawing that kind of human is just easier to draw than other humans?
Yeah, it's just a wild theory. I'm not saying that's what's happening here.
But it makes sense. But it would also make sense that the virus would be programmed to just take back the original DNA of a person and replicate it back,
Anyway, so let's not go in stuck in the details. I agree with Inseinen's theory. I watched that video. I actually agree with that. But it's another wild theory, what if in a scenario? What if Narain actually fails?
Yeah, I can dig it. It's a thing. We talk about that a lot. Once again, you guys can probably get enough out of it now to form your own interpretation after hearing both of our long spiels. You can take parts. I feel like what like smart people would do is like just take parts of their own theories along with ours to formulate if they think differently or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, Fuyu's like he's turning the drones back into humans, and then we see Niardi's just like a blank, stare. I think this is when she realizes that he did succeed, and that's why she's like, release the reverse morphic polymer now. You know what I mean? Like she sees that
She's rushing.
Narain actually succeeded, and she's like, "Oh fuck, we gotta
Surprise
we gotta
face,
wipe,
dot emoji.
yeah, we gotta wipe these people off the planet. Like, like I'm gonna win, not Narain."
But
So
another
I
thing,
think I'm like that though.
I'm just sorry. I'm always like interrupting.
It's okay.
You know where like Narain already made these humans back into like drones back into human, like but in immortal form because that's his plan, right? Making all humans immortal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But now what? Now here's the thing: if actually Narain succeeded, then to turning them into immortals, then I think that Niardi wouldn't carry on her plan. She wouldn't release the morphic polymer now. Do you know why? Because like coming in contact with the drones were just a medium. But if the drones like a catalyst, but if the drones are actually like immortal, then what happens is that these mediums never gets used up. They are always like going on and on. These cells always regenerate and they'll go on forever. This reaction,
okay,
and that's gonna happen now.
okay, but
So I think
Millennium, just because they're immortal doesn't mean they can't die due to like suffocation of the crazy morphic polymer mass that's formed because Narain, we only see him transform too. We could argue that there's like hundreds of drones they dropped on the land. It's not like he has enough. I think Niardi is like, release the reverse morphic polymer now so that Narain doesn't have a chance to turn all these drones.
okay, so Inseinen, I think there's a different concept of immortality that we're talking about. So magically speaking, if you're talking about immortal cells, like in real life, there's only one body that has been found right now, like until now, that has immortal cells. Do you know about the immortal cells of forgot the person's name?
Well, we know there's two, Rarudo and Vievciana, aka
I'm
I'm
talking
about real life. There's a
real
life.
life. There's a real life
Yeah.
immortal.
Wait,
Oh
no way.
shit!
Yeah,
No,
but
no.
it's different. It's really different.
Wait, I think
Someone
the
who has been
only
dead
real
for
life
like
immortal cells, like cancer
So
cells.
okay, I'll explain it like in a layman's term. So this person had died, but their cells, like their body cells, those remained alive. They act like a cancer cell, but they're not cancer cells. They're like immortal cells. And we all over the world, in every like major university and labs, we have those samples, and it's like a really illegal stuff. But we have it now. The original humans' parents never, their family never got any money. But basically, her body was taken by like people and scientists who sold the cells to every like they basically the souls generate by themselves. There's unlimited supply, and every university gets one. Like every lab has one.
it's
So
Henrietta Lacks.
yeah, Henrietta Lacks. So what I'm saying is like doesn't matter if the immortal people die. If their body cells are immortal, it's like infinity of like reaction you can have like deal with it. Like
All
that's
right.
what I'm saying. Like yeah.
I mean, I get it, Millennium. You're gonna keep saying things that go along with your theory, so I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna, accept it.
Okay.
Anyway, one way or another, Niardi is like release the reverse morphic polymer.
Yeah, she's freaking out.
Yeah, she's freaking out. She doesn't like what she's seeing. Fuyu's like, no, the DRF hasn't recalled its soldiers yet. But Zoichi starts firing off because he doesn't want this reverse morphic polymer to go off. But it's too late. The ships are spraying it on all the drones, and the reaction's happening. And it's forming that little, like, that crazy mass thing that covered the city earlier. And it's starting to take over MSCF3 as it gets larger and larger.
Yeah.
Niardi is trying to escape in her little bio ship. The dude's like, matriarch. But then boom, 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 boom. It explodes before she can lift off, and it was Zoichi shooting at it. He says, don't move. her guardian's like, matriarch, like, oh no, I gotta protect her. And then we see a little standoff between Zoichi and Niardi. Before the guardian can do anything, Higuide, yeah, comes in.
And it's revealed that he's the guardian of the right.
Yeah.
He
stopped.
He says, I am your opponent. So now the guardian, has to face off against Higuide. And
so left and right are like the guardian is the guardian of the left, and Higuide is the guardian of the right. And it's like a I don't know if it's like actually
Higuide is not the guardian of the right. He's Higuide.
Look at the
guardian. The other guardian was already killed by Zoichi, and he blew his body in half. And now we're looking at the other guardian.
No, he means Higuide is battling against it.
He's on
that's true.
Side, not
okay. So here's another thing. It's like if Higuide is battling the guardian of the right, and Higuide's name is Higuide, if we shorten a little bit, it's Hide. Hide means left. But anyway, let's go on. My theories are wild.
Oh my Jesus! Higuide is fighting the guardian that's still alive. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So Zoichi's just alone with the matriarch. He says, "Stop the release of the reverse morphic polymer now." Niardi's like 7,000 vessels armed with distribution devices are already carrying out operations around the globe. It is impossible to halt the human species general conversion plan now. So Niardi's trying to cover the whole world in this mass. That's what it looks like. This planet will soon be reconstructed on an environmental level, and reproduction of anachronisms like you have to be halted too. Guys, this is interesting. Interesting note, which will come up again later. She has a little bit of discriminatory or against things that aren't living or natural. That'll come up again later, and we'll see why when we learn about her powers. Blorp.
Narain is struggling.
Yeah, Narain is struggling because the crazy mass is trying to go everywhere and do its crazy reaction thing. And it looks like Niardi tried to use her spirit matter on Zoichi. We'll learn later that this doesn't have too great of an effect because of spoilers. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it yet.
All right.
Well, that is the reason, but that's also whatever. A little bit of the spoiler. It doesn't work on Zoichi like it does living things. Put it that way. Her powers. She gets rescued by an angel mech. I've just been calling him that. And Zoichi's left. And he's left to fight these angel mech things. Fuyu's like, Zoichi, get out of there. And then the last page of the volume is Narain with some crazy brainwave spirals coming out of his head. He's freaking out. We'll learn later that he is not in a very good, stable condition.
Yeah.
But
another thing is like
volume 3.
Kind of body.
Woo!
One thing to finish up before we go into overall arc.
Before we go into our randomness, we're already almost 2.5 hours in. It's crazy.
So a little bit of Niardi can control if she can control biomass like living organisms, and now if she's actually turning the whole world into this organic biomass substance, like turning all the inorganic unliving material into living material,
let's not spoil anything that happens in the future.
No, I'm not spoiling. I'm just saying like that if that's their goal to like turn everything into inorganic substance, then she can basically control everything. Like she's like the matriarch, mother of the world.
Oh, I would agree.
This is probably why she hates the synthetics, because she cannot control them.
Well, all right, we've already talked about it enough. Guys, we learn in the next volume that Niardi's powers only work on living things. So, not really that big of it's not really a spoiler, but I mean, it didn't happen yet. I didn't want to talk about it, but whatever. Niardi only has power over living things when she uses her spirit matter type stuff.
But also
like
it's not like living things, like it's like organic substance, not living.
Okay, organic substances, like things, plants too. Organic, like plants, animals, people.
That are natural.
So and about the Narain, it's interesting that he parallels Jesus in this
Oh yeah, it's like the
chapter.
second coming of Christ.
Yeah, dude, it really is
Died.
crazy.
He
He
died,
dies and comes back.
came back to life, and he cures people. So it's
Should
a
have
bit.
turned
The
Shouldn't
picture
turn
itself too looked like
right
some
into
kind of like
water.
halo on his head.
Sorry,
Yeah.
water into wine.
Yeah. Those clouds,
Should have
Like,
almost like a halo.
Yeah.
he should have turned water into wine and stuff. That would be better. Like
Yeah.
Jesus turns water into wine, like converts stuff, and he's actually converting
Oh
humans.
yeah,
like
that
drones.
works too.
Jester, I'll take all the sponsorships I can get. I think, hey
All right,
guys, everyone on the podcast, thanks everyone. I think we'll have like 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we're like at 380 or so. It's been going good.
Okay, so Inseinen, I'm gonna leave now. I really have to pee, and I might not join again. So,
all right, brother.
All right.
Hey,
follow
thanks,
me on
man.
Instagram.
Thanks a lot, Millennium.
Yeah, thanks, Millennium. We'll see you next week.
All right, see you.
All right, peace out, brother. Geez, Shio, everyone's saying beautiful things about your drawing, and it is beautiful. How you doing today?
Doing fine. I actually woke up at 4 because not having a good sleep schedule.
Oh, true.
Yeah, I stay like 4 hours.
Yeah.
Destro is wondering if anyone in here reads Japanese. I cannot read Japanese.
I cannot read Japanese either.
Because he's wondering, because it's the translation thing. Jester, I've wondered the same thing. I wish I could read the original Japanese Biomega volumes and interpret it the way Japanese people would, as far as for clarification on some of the details in the story, but I can't, unfortunately.
The Millennium tries to. I don't think anyone in the community speaks Japanese directly, but Millennium in particular likes to cross-reference translations and translate some stuff by himself using Google Translate and some things. Not really big sentences, but when something is not obvious in the translated text, it's better to have at least an idea of what's going on in the original. And I think the only real person who tries to, who knows a bit of Japanese, maybe Egan Sterus, who I think will never get on the cast because he's already speaking English using Google Translate with us, so it's a bit complicated.
Maybe we'll get him on in a couple of years.
Yeah.
But
maybe you can start with Blame, because on that one you mostly can count every dialogue on one chapter in your your one hand.
Except when Eco is talking. Eco is like the most helpful person. His dialogue, he's just like spews like you information, which is great. Oh man. Anyway, I love Biomega so much. It's so cool.
It's so weird. It's like
it is very weird.
Yeah.
I will always reference this interview when Nihei was about to publish it, and he just said, "Yeah, I'm working on something which is a bit like Resident Evil." And then he laughed and said, oh yeah, not really like Resident Evil. Like he already knew how fucked up the whole story was gonna get, because the premise is that it's a zombie horror story, and it ends up not being that at all.
Yeah. I mean, we don't really realize what the story's truly about until the end. Or I guess, no, we get a lot of details next volume, guys. A lot of details. A lot of backflashes. A lot of dialogue from Narain and what happened in the past and his perspective and stuff. It's cool. Anyway, I don't want this being longer than 2.5 hours. So we are going to... we're going to call it. Hey, guys, but I did want to say, if you're in America, Tuesday and... Oh, my God. Hold on 1 sec. Hello? Yeah, give me 1 second. 1 second. Sorry, that was someone important. We're about to end anyway. Okay, yeah. Next Monday and Tuesday, Night Sidonia movie has showtimes in America. Look at your local theater to see where it's playing. I don't know what it's like in Europe or other parts of the world, but guys, maybe look into that. It's only it's not going to be in theaters for too long. If you're, I honestly, I kind of like the Night Sidonia anime. I think it's the best animated adaptation of a Nihei work.
It's not
So I'm
hard
looking
to-
forward to the movie.
Do you know they actually hand out like little figures of the Tsugumori? Is that how you call it? And Tsumugi at the theater when you go to it in Japan. That's super cool.
That is cool. Anyway, yo, Shio, totally join us next week in your drawing. I really appreciate it. It looks so
Well,
badass.
Yeah.
Everyone
thank you.
loves you too. Follow
Yeah,
Shio.
you managed to like finish it just on time
Yeah.
before we
Uh,
got to leave.
Boy, I
Amazing.
was rushing it, yeah.
anyway, everyone, you stay Toa Heavy Tough. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your friends. We'll see you next
Yep.
week.
Goodbye.
Peace.
Peace.
See you guys.